of a bitch.
You son of a bitch.
Hit you with the drop kick, Marty Jannetty. No, I hit you with the drop kick, Marty Jannetty. No, I hit you with the drop kick, Marty Jannetty. No, I hit you with that drop kick, Marty Jannetty.
Check 1 2. Welcome to the Hot Tag Wrestling Corner. I'm your I'm just your prophets here. Jay Bird. I got my man Bobbito, Clint in the house. What up, y'all? I'm gonna pass it to my man Bobbito. Definitely in the place. We are live.
We're live, buddy.
Like so, huh? All right.
Mouse. There you go. Clint, let me get a sound check real quick. Put your headphones on.
I'm gonna need to put your laptop. No, never mind. You might be all right. Just brought my laptop. Let me delete some stuff. You good? Go ahead.
Mic check.
Yes, sir. And we are live. Bobbito, I'm going to pass the mic on over here to you and get about this throne.
I'm going to let you start with your stories first, Lynn. And I'll just open this up right quick.
All right.
Hey, Clint. Listen, hey. Here go your headphones, bro. I'm going to move this over here.
Okay.
See if I can see you. No, it's not that. It's the microphone itself is blocking you. That's all. The microphone is blocking you. All right, you on the screen, and you are live, sir.
Thank you. All right.
Yeah, I think so.
Check it out with the news. We haven't done this in a while with news.
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on into the latest edition of Hot Tags Wrestle Corner. I'm one half of your host, Rob.
I'm Clint.
My bad.
I'll get that from you on.
Okay. Yeah, my bad for the opening. Some technical difficulties behind the scenes. It's like last week, we'll be taking care of it though.
You gotta switch that screen. You don't want him now. Transition.
Gotcha. So real quick, so I'm gonna start off with the news stories. Get this thing kicked off. A normal show this week, as we usually do.
All right, I'm about to listen to y'all.
All right. News, reviews from this week's. Also going over Elimination Chamber from last week. So get started, Clint.
All right. First news story. WWE is getting sued over a WrestleMania 38 pyro injury. This probably had to do with Cody Rhodes and all pyro that he is. He himself admits he's a pyro junkie. So the man's name is Marvin Jackson. He filed a lawsuit January 12th before the District Court of Tarrant County, Texas. This is according to PW Insider. He alleged that he lost hearing in his left ear while an invitee at WrestleMania 38 due to pyro blast as part of production. He was an invitee on the premises. He was seated next to the stage at the venue. And when the performance began, the pyros went off. He said the blast of the pyro was so loud, he lost all his hearing in his left ear. No facts suggest that the plaintiff did anything or failed to do anything that contributed to damage resulting in injuries. The defendant failed to notify anyone or any place with warnings about the existence of pyro. So, WWE is basically being accused of negligence, gross negligence, and strict liability, which claimed that WWE knew the risks of using pyros and that Jackson was injured due to the objective extreme risk that was subjectively aware of disregard for cosmetic effect and gain. WWE basically said that in WWE's liability, his lawsuit said that the defendant is strictly liable for plaintiff injuries arising from the pyrotechnic display because the use of pyro indoors consists of abnormally dangerous activity. For the purpose of a common law rule, that party carrying on dangerous activity is strictly liable. So, they got in a little lawsuit about take care of due to the pyros. Probably was during Cody Rhodes. I mean, we don't know Cody's the pyro guy. Next news story. Congratulations, Sonya Deville is now engaged. So her partner, Deville and her partner Tony Gasano basically told people that she popped a question at a wine cellar in New Jersey. Cassano, who's a fitness model, said yes, they met in April 23 while DeVille was invited her to a live event at WWE. She revealed that moments after she gave her fiance a custom ring from Happy Jewelers, she surprised her with an engagement ring of her own. She basically said, I proposed. Then Tony's like, grab my purse, and she pulled out a freaking ring bottle. She's like, I've been carrying this around for 4 months, so whenever you propose, I can give you a ring back immediately. They both say it was a big blur of the night. They were just shaking so bad. DeVille talked about how she loves her and that she never knew love could feel so happy and safe at the same time. Cassano is the mother of 2 daughters, ages 7 and 11, who are also involved in the proposal. So, congratulations to Sonya Deville on her recent engagement. Next news story is a short one. We got to throw a Jim Cornette story around here once in a while we can. Jim Cornette explains why WWE should not bring back Brandy Rose for the Cody feud with Roman Reigns. And he goes on to say that the building up to Mania, the tendency might be trying to use her to get some kind of heat, but it will backfire because people would cheer for Roman Reigns later on. But if she got on Heyman and you had a classic wife manager cat fight, I think it would be entertaining as shit. Otherwise, maybe she just stay in the back with Pharaoh and keep an eye on the leash. So, Jim Cornette had some strong words about that. That would be a good way you could do that, though. Have her be like manager, what's her name, for Cody. Next news story. Dominic Mysterio reveals he was paid for the custody matchup at SummerSlam 2005. We all remember that angle. One of the most infamous angles WWE ever did. So he was 8 in the middle of the feud between Eddie Guerrero and his father, Rey Mysterio. He was on a Cheat Heat program during the interview, and he reflects on working with Eddie Guerrero on SummerSlam, and he said that, I don't remember Eddie prepping me for how intense it was going to be. That just came. It was Eddie being Eddie. I remember being in the corner at SummerSlam, and he just yelling at me like, you're going to know what it means to be a Guerrero. And then his hand comes up, and as a kid, I said it before, I thought generally he was going to hit me, and something happened because dude was so intense. Then I look at his eyes, his veins was popping out, and he was jacked to the gills and started yelling at me. Me having nowhere to go, just sitting back in the corner. He also revealed he was paid for the show. He said that whole spiel that he got paid for, he said his dad was like, hey, we want you to do this thing if you're okay with it. He said he wasn't aware or he said he was unsure because, he said he liked playing with his friends during the summertime when they was out of school. He like, well, you're going to get paid for it. He like, oh, now I'm speaking my language, Said it was, said it was 7 to 8, but he said he understood the business there. I mean, 7 to 8 getting paid, be part of an angle story, It's not a fun angle story, But, all
man,
right.
yeah, right, man. That's classic right there, bro. The custody angle story. I'm your puppy. Now, was that the same one? No, it was probably a different angle. But was that the same one when Vicky came down to the ring late and Eddie was mad and you could hear him on the mic? He's like, "Dude, where the fuck is Vicky?"
I do not know. 3 more news stories. So, Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns are set to headline the second night of WrestleMania, which that's still obvious. They don't know who's going to headline night 1. A lot of internal feeling like it's Charlotte versus Rhea Ripley.
Here's why I say. I'm going to tell you why. All right. So, think about this. Sasha's had 2 now. Am I right?
What, main events?
Main events on like night 1s. She had Bianca Belair last year. Didn't she have another one before that? When they were, am I thinking the one that was in the rain? She didn't main event one of them nights?
I don't think so. No.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong on that one. Okay, well, never mind. She's had one. Give her that. Becky's had one.
Yeah.
Charlotte, She been out for a minute.
Charlotte and Bailey though.
She's her darling. She hasn't had one though.
I know.
Not a solo. She was part of the three-way with Ronda and Becky, but I can see them giving it to Charlotte easily. They could give it to Bianca Belair too. I just don't see it. I would see them opening one of the nights with that match before I'd see them putting it as the main event.
Yeah, it's been being pushed a lot backstage because of sponsors and political reasons. Since me and Main evented both nights last year.
Oh, they did? I almost forgot that. I thought that Sasha and Bianca main event at night one.
No, that's not last Mania.
That one last Mania? No, yeah, they walked out. The Mania before last.
Yeah.
I'm taking 2 years ago. Okay.
Yeah. So they believe that it's a good year for women to headline. And a lot of people feel that Flair versus Ripley would be better than Asuka and Bianca Belair. So I do too. I feel like it should be Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley. And then also too, Charlotte did get in, but she was kind of more like an afterthought in that one though. Not an afterthought, but like they just like threw her in because they wasn't sure about Becky's injury, so they was like. Next, Ric Flair did his cameo earnings. So on his podcast to Be the Man, he revealed that he has earned close to $700,000 in 21 months on Cameo. He said, I made $700,000 doing Cameo. They're just a minute long.
Listen,
Let me ask talking for 2 minutes.
Let me ask you a question.
21 months.
Can you in your mind just imagine that every one of them, have you seen his car commercial with Allen Iverson and Ice-T?
Yeah.
Okay, so can you just imagine that every one of the cameos is him like that? When he sat down in the chair. And he was full on Nate. Like he was amped. It wasn't just like Nate in regular conversation. No, he was in character. That's probably how every one of them cameos is.
But also too though.
Except adding your specific information like Nate was told by your buddy Mike that it's your birthday, something like that.
He charges $500 for a personalized video.
Fuck. If you ever got me one of those for one of my birthdays or Christmas, I'd love you for life. That's a lot of fucking money for that.
$10,000 for a business video.
Wait, hold on. Why the five? Wait, hold on. You said 500 and then 10,000 because it's a business? He's getting it in. I feel him. He like, oh, it's a business. Y'all can afford this shit. All right, hey, all right.
$1,500 for a live video call. So you actually like a live video call, you have to get to talk to him. His average video time is 1 minute and 18 seconds. He said he once charged $600 per video.
So why did he drop it $100 to give people a bud?
I don't know. But
inflation was. He said, "I feel y'all on inflation. I'm gonna drop my video price by $100."
But another key thing about Cameo too, though, is that he usually responds within 24 hours, which is good because most cameos, it ain't gonna be immediate. Some cameos take up to a week. Some won't even respond back to you. So he responds normally 24 hours, and he has a 4.91 star rating out of 5 to 300 reviews. 96 of them are 5 stars. So, and a portion of his earnings go to the CDC Foundation, which is established by Congress to support effective partnership between CDC and corporation, foundations, and organizations. So,
okay.
Shout out to that, So, I'm gonna make. That's why he probably charged $10,000 for businesses. Last news story is kind of what's the name. So, we probably AEW released their video game too. All right.
Yeah, it's a Wi-Fi issue. Go ahead.
Just a couple ratings. For those of you watch Up, Down, Down, they reviewed some of the ratings. A lot of some of the key people haven't been released yet. Like we don't know Roman Reigns' rating as officially. I'm not going to go through everybody's rating. The highest rated female on this game is Becky Lynch. She's a 96. I think it should be Bianca Belair personally. She's a 95. 95. Bailey's a 91, but Alexa Bliss is an 85. Then you got some other people. Queen Selena rated a 74. She's the lowest female on the game.
Selena Vega?
Queen Selena.
That's whack.
Meanwhile, Raquel Rodriguez is the 83. Rhea Ripley the 87. Trisha the 93. China the 88. And then just a couple of the men real quick. The highest rated male on this list so far. You know the highest rated male on the game. They said
Roman Reigns, I bet it's like a 98.
Well, Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar ratings haven't been revealed yet, but it is rumoured that they're probably the two highest guys on the game.
I saw a story earlier that said it is Roman. It's insane.
Yeah, Roman's up. Yeah, him and Brock are the highest two paid because when they was doing the ratings with Becky Lynch, she like, you are a 96. She's like, I'm the highest person in the game. They're like, no. And then he whispered in her ear, and then she said, oh, so she got to come from Brock and Roman. The third highest player on the game, I believe, is The Rock at 96. Did take her to 94. 94.
Why do you give him Rock so much love?
The lowest male on here is, so far, they have is Chad Gable. No, my fault, R-Truth. Guess what his rating is?
69.
72.
Alright.
Yeah. And Tyler Breeze is also on this game, too. You both got the playable character. So, that's just a couple of the ratings. They ain't about to go through everybody. Oh, your boy Cody Rhodes at 91. One.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So, that just comes a couple of the ratings. Rey Mysterio's at 82. That's low as hell. That's disrespectfully low.
I mean,
But you kind of understand it, though.
that's all I was about to say. Like, I don't know, at this age, I guess I would kind of understand it.
Uh,
But the fucked up part is, though, is that in a couple years after he actually, like, retires, like, in ring, then at that point, they're going to probably boost it up to a 94. Like, oh, he's a legend. It's like, so then why do you play him at the end of his career and give him an 82?
yeah, but that's all the news stories I have, though.
Okay, I have mine pulling up. I had to put my hotspot on so I can get some better internet over here and read my news stories off. So, one of my news stories is that the report. Tell me what you know about Vince McMahon possibly wanting to sell the WWE for $9 billion.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah,
$9 billion. And the rumor is Saudi Arabia.
A lot of people saying that was the rumor. Then a lot of people saying it was just people just
Throwing shit at the wall and saying with sticks.
So basically, Nick Khan was on one of them CNBC shows.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about the money and all that stuff like that. I don't watch that crap, so I don't really know the name of them shows. I will say, forgive me if I get the name of the shows wrong, but I don't remember. But I really don't give a fuck, so it don't matter to me.
Shit.
But yeah, so he basically was on there and he was saying that Vince would like to sell it probably within like 3 months, less than a year. He won't be part of creative, but as soon as he sell it, he's willing to step down. Soon as he sell it. So then of course the $9 million, that price is just astronomical. No, my fault. He said $9 billion.
$9 billion
Like,
is what I heard.
that's astronomical. Like you're crazy if you're going to get $9 billion. Somebody would probably pay for it though, but yeah. So I mean that's there's a little crux of it that I heard right now. So basically, as soon as Vince basically just came back to the board to help with the sale, and then once he sells it, he's probably gonna drop right back out. It's probably just gonna go away again. So I mean,
Yeah, I feel you, man. I'll hope that's what happens, but man, yeah, right. I think it was plotted for him to do it the way he did it and come back the whole time. I bet he felt like the product was shitty when he was gone. You know what I'm saying? Without his influence involved with it, because he's so fucking hands-on with everything. So, but, I mean, you might be right, though. Maybe he'll jump back out after that and, you know, chill out. Be the old man that he actually is.
I hope so.
Genetic freak. All that good shit. You want an updated card for Revolution?
Sure.
Alright, so going into the go home that will be coming up this week, on the 1st on Wednesday because the show was next Sunday. Your main event will be AEW World Champion MJF defending the title against Bryan Danielson in an Iron Man match. Also, AEW Tag Team Championship match is a 4-way where we'll find out who the last team that will be in it. But based upon last week's results of that tag team battle royal, my guess would probably be Best Friends because of how they got did at the end of it. But it's yet to be determined yet. But the other 3 teams that are guaranteed to be in it are the Guns, the Acclaimed, and Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal.
Oh wow.
By the way, before I finish reading this.
Oh, World's got nothing here.
Oh, we can do it this week. We put your daddy in the gasoline, so we can do it this week. Go ahead. Sorry again. In the AEW Tag Team Championship match, it's the Guns versus the Acclaim versus, hold on. It's Wild Slap Nuts on the loose.
JEFF JARRET
And Jay Lethal.
That will never get old.
Versus a team to be named this week on Dynamite. And to go home. Texas. Oh, well, that's all I was going to say before we got into that. I need to state this for the record right now. This will be a 4-hour pay-per-view. If you hate long pay-per-views, good luck, because this one is going to be 4. I promise you. The main event's an hour by itself. You think they're going to squeeze the rest of that damn show into 2 hours? I bet not. I know them. They have a track record for this, so I'm just stating it now. AEW is having a Texas death match between Jon Moxley and Hangman Page. This is finish up their trilogy.
Just a match for them to bleed more.
Yeah. This week was.
We'll
get into it when we get into the reviews. Because that's part of my good, bad, and ugly.
Let's just stop putting fancy names for matches. Every match is going to bleed. Okay, let's just say Matt can make Moxley.
It's funny. It was news stories I could have reported on this week that I skipped that were talking about Bully Ray said he bleeds too much. Somebody else said, I think it was Jimmy Kadira says when you use blood so much it takes away the impact of it. And I know they were talking about him. Yeah. I know they were talking about him. But my man's living his best life right now, and he is pretty much the company MVP, so I can't hate. And that's just because he's 5'2". He's going to give you a great promo. You're going to get a good match out of him. If you need somebody to come in and be your interim champion, like what happened with Punk at All In, he can jump into you in that spot for you and lead the way. He came back. He battled addiction and came back from it. And almost looked better than he did before he left.
Only certain superstar that had that potential.
Exactly.
I think when we did our list, I think it's the reason why we had Rollins, Moxley, and Reigns 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's pretty much. That's what I'm saying. He's pretty much company MVP. So.
You know,
that's why I feel like, no, you gotta. I was like, I don't know. It's like, I know he bleeds a lot, but it's like, I live with that. I'm still gonna get a good match. AEW TNT Championship match: Samoa Joe versus Wardlow. AEW Women's World Championship match is a 3-way between Jamie Hayter, Saraya, and Ruby Soho. AEW Trios match is the Elite versus the House of Black. That should be pretty awesome. Ricky Starks versus Chris Jericho. No interference involved. Like nobody's allowed to ringside or something like that. So none of the Jericho Appreciation Society banned from ringside, and that's the card so far. I believe you're gonna have a Jade Cargill match on there, even if it's on the pre-show. She's probably gonna have one on there. They usually average 2 women's matches per pay-per-view, so that's gonna be your second one. Though the last pay-per-view had 3, but that was different. So that'd be coming out, and I wouldn't doubt if Orange Cassidy's gonna put that all in on the line against somebody too, and that'd probably be pre-show too, is my guess. So this might be the end of the main card of what I just read off.
That might be just the main card, probably.
Let's.
I can see them doing it because it's simple fact that you're gonna have an hour.
Let's go with that. All right, so. Moving on. Of course, as we said, I didn't want it to do. Yay! Moving on.
It's okay.
Moving on to the next story. No, it's not actually okay, but I'm just going to roll with the punches on it. Like, screw it. Oh, I know why it's doing that. We're good. It should be fine. Now, yay. All right.
Yay.
Sort of. You sounded like Jimmy on Crime and Sports when you said that time.
I know. That's what I'm going for.
Our next story, since I got to wing it, my laptop just took a shit on me over here.
Hate that.
Yeah, I know, right? Right in the middle of the show is when it wants to do it at the worst time.
That shows are the ones that don't go in order, I think. I'm trying to think of the same, but I can't think of it right now. No.
The best ones come from the hip. I don't know, something like that. I know that's
Something
what
like
I'm saying.
that.
It's not the same, but it's something like that.
Something like that, yeah. But you get what I'm saying, though.
I got you always. All right, moving on. So, I saw an opinion this week. I wanted to see what you thought about it. But people were shitting on the Moxley main event that was on Dynamite because Evil Uno was in it. It said you can't have a fat guy with tits in the main event. Those are his words, not mine. I believe it was Bischoff that said it. He said you can't have a fat guy with tits in the main event.
Okay, just because I had some more news stories.
Go ahead, keep going, brother. I'm pulling some too. As you go.
Since your shit took a whiz, I got you. Superstar Billy Graham.
Oh yeah, we've talked about him
Fight for
on
his
here
life.
before. Let's do that.
And took another turn.
Wait, he's fighting for his life. I didn't know he was in the hospital. Oh man, is it the roids finally catching that?
He developed chills, cough, and nausea.
That sounds like
That's from his
COVID.
wife. Yeah. He's been fighting so hard and God brought him through so much that I believe our Father will bring him through whatever this is. He still don't know when he's gonna be strong enough to come home. They said he lost a lot of weight, but they upgraded his diet, started bringing him food, so he's been eating better the past couple of days. They scheduled an MRI in 2 weeks to check on the infection, so I guess it was the infection or something that he had that basically like making his health deteriorate. And also, Jeff Hardy. Remember that DUI he got in Florida last year?
Yeah.
That good old driver's license has been suspended for 10 years.
Wait, he's just not getting results from that?
He submitted a plea of he submitted a plea to Nola Katende on all charges. That basically means the defendant agrees to accept punishment, but don't accept or deny responsibility. Damn it! You mean he took a plea deal? Well, no, it's not a plea deal. Take a plea deal, you're essentially pleading guilty. He basically pleaded no contest and got 10-year suspension of his license. So hey, good luck, Jeff. You won't be driving a car till you're 55 years old. I mean, well, you won't have a license till you're 55 years old.
Yeah, but oh man, I think his kids are young. Never mind. I was like, maybe he has a daughter that can like drop him around. It's like 17 or something. I don't know. Okay, so I've made headway on some of my stories I was pulling from before. Okay, so I'm saving the funniest for last. Thunder Rosa doing commentary for AEW. Have something else pulled up behind this next so I can get to my next one. But Thunder Rosa doing commentary for AEW gives injury rehab update. She's been doing Spanish commentary for AEW. Says she continues her rehab or injury and recently discussed a gig with Fightful. Quote, it's like doing Spectrum. It's like doing the whole spectrum of the show, doing commentary, and I've said this before, it's not an easy task. It's one we are many times translating live of some of the action that is happening. If someone cuts a promo, we have to translate like that. As you can imagine, your brain is on overload, and you have the music and the people and everything, and it's not an easy task. I'm super excited that the company were able to give me an opportunity on another platform to develop other skills that I have. I have excellent reviews. I work in it even more. I feel like it was a need for me to start taking broadcasting classes because I'm doing this more and I want to get better. I have to be a champion on this and be the best that I can be. The other aspect that I am doing with AEW is doing a lot of interviews to promote the show. It's important to get the word out of AEW. We want more eyes on the show, and it's important for it to be more successful. On her rehab, so the quote is taking my time in rehab going well. I actually lifted. I did deadlifts for the first time, 5 little pounds. I'm feeling a lot stronger. I want to make sure I return when I'm right to go return to the ring, when I'm ready mentally and physically. I want to get the best show I can, and the new Thunder Rosa is coming. I'm focusing on myself and what I need to do to get back. I'll cut it short there. That's basically her comments on that.
All right. So Another news story. Ooh, excuse me. Dang, I just had it in my head. Just real blank on it. Dang it. Ain't that about the son of a what's the name?
Did you see? This is leading into my next story. As I give you a second. So during Elimination Chamber, they showed Iro Hawani in the crowd with GSP because it was in Montreal where they had Elimination Chamber at.
Yeah.
And then Michael Cole tried to cut a joke, saying he asked all the questions, whether you want to answer them or not. He was talking about Tony Khan, apparently.
That's another news story. So, WWE is a little bit worried right now.
Why?
And the worry is about, so you know Cody Rhodes is set to face Roman Reigns. WWE fans are a little bit concerned about how over Sami Zayn is. And they feel more that like it's going to take away more from Cody Rhodes. You know, seeing that it's kind of more is like about like his redemption, you know, and his came back from the injury and everything like that. So we'll see how that playing out. Also, too, apparently everybody in the family is trying to push The Rock to come back to WWE. At some point, they all want him to wrestle. I mean, dang. I mean, even when your mama said you need to wrestle, mama wants you to come back. By the way, which was crazy because it was a story that I forgot how long ago this happened. His mom got into a car accident. She was okay. But, like, that was crazy, though. Like, he said he got a phone call like 3, 4 in the morning, and said his mom was in a car accident. She was okay. He went down there, said Angel was watching over her, because the car, it was a pretty bad car wreck. Like the car was like...
Is she okay, though?
She's okay, yeah. She's fine. It was a pretty bad wreck, though. Speaking of The Rock, let's keep it going with him. XFL, I mean, has been having some good reviews.
It's been alright. I saw the one game. So, it was the Pittsburgh-St. Louis game, and St. Louis was down 15-3 with like 2 minutes left, and somehow came back and won. Because they have this thing where you can go for it instead of punting, you could go for it. You got to do it like, I think it's 4th and 25 or something, but if you pick it up, you can get the first. So they did that and then scored, and then somehow they did like an onside kick and got it back, and then almost won the game on a fake field goal, but dude dropped the ball in the end zone, but they still won the game though. Which I loved because Heinz Ward is the coach of Pittsburgh, so fuck them.
We was also watching the game.
Sorry, it wasn't Pittsburgh, it was San Antonio. But it's the San Antonio Brahmas, and they're the same fucking colors as the Steelers. That's why it says Pittsburgh. That's why. And they got fucking Heinz Ward as their coach, so fuck that. Go ahead.
Yeah. So like I said, it's been better than the last XFL that they had. A couple good things is a lot of people are raving about the replay. It's the replay, which is like a literal like command center, which is a great idea. I do love the fact that you got the 3-point conversion, so you can go for 1, 2, or 3, or 3 if you need be. But yeah, just everything so far in general, like just it's funny. Cause, that's what I said. We was watching a game before we met out. Our sponsor was me, Star, Gail, and George. Shaw, I'm plug perfect team in right here. Basically, so one of the guys was a field goal kicker, and his name was like Patrick Romo. So we was making jokes like, is he going to choke like Tony Romo usually does in the playoffs? He did. He made the field goal from like 58. No, I mean it was just ironic. Like, yeah, name Patrick Romo. You know, up there lining up for like a game time kick. You know, like, do you have Tony Romo in you? Are you going to make it? Are you going to miss it? Inquiring minds want to know.
So I'm good. I have everything pulled over here now.
All right.
So
running out.
You're fine. I'm sorry. The reason it took a minute because I had to transfer from the laptop to my phone because the laptop stopped working and my phone is. So all my stories I had on my laptop, I had to manually search them like by the like a quote or a name in it, and then pulled the story from that. So it just took me a couple minutes. Thank you for tap dancing like Scatman Carruthers. Dynamite drop in, Tony. So first, a couple Kenny Omega stories. First, Kenny Omega hints at a potential mixed tag with Mercedes Moné in New Japan. We'll get to her in a second also. So, as noted, Mercedes Moné released a video showing her meeting AEW star Kenny Omega at New Japan Wrestle Kingdom earlier this year. She commented on the tweet and released out a message that she sent to Omega via Twitter, which Omega later responded to, hinting at the two probably linking up at some point. Quote, this is from Mercedes Moné. So nice to meet you at Kenny Omega Man X. Until our paths meet again, Omega later responded, our work with New Japan isn't quite done yet, and I'm sure they will. I hear they sometimes do mixed matches now too. Next story, also involving Mr. Omega, or maybe involving Mercedes Moné. I'm not sure of the order of this I have going. Let's see what pops up first. Omega. Update on his contract status with AEW. As previously reported, Kenny Omega's original AEW deal has been set to expire at the end of January, and there were rumors that WWE was interested. However, it was also said that AEW might add time after he missed time due to his injury.
They're going to add time.
Which I don't like on some WWE shit, but I'm sorry, he loves it there, so he doesn't.
I just
care.
don't like it, Joe. I don't like it, Joe. So I feel like you're being
It's not a
punished
good.
for injury.
It's not a good practice. I don't feel like.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like you add time on because somebody got hurt. Now, if it's different, if like you like walked out, like I understand they was a freeze Naomi's time. I understand that he walked out, wiped on your contract. But like, if you're injured, I feel like they shouldn't add time to that because it's like you can't control if you get injured.
So it says Omega's original contract began February 1st, 2019, and allowed AEW to add time due to injury, and he was out for 9 months. That means his current deal, in theory, I was going to say theoretically.
Yeah.
In theory, it means it could be extended up to November. AEW did add time, but it's unknown how much time they did add. It is noted that Barry Bloom is Omega's agent. He is the agent of all the best wrestlers pretty much in the world. Started with like Mick Foley and then expanded from there. Was one of the people that's behind the mat. Part of the reason that he did behind the mat was Barry Bloom and everything like that. Anyway, it has been his agent since late 2019, early 2019, and likely handled negotiations for the Omega as well as for the Young Bucks. At the end of the year, it's likely they will all get offers from WWE and AEW for great money, with Omega whether or not he can wrestle in Japan may play a role in where he decides to
That's
go.
why he's going to stay in AEW. Because they will let him wrestle in Japan.
Apparently WWE is trying to change that, but not with Vince in charge. He probably won't be on it. But Triple H in charge, he let Machine Gun Carl Anderson go over and drop the belt to Tama Tonga at Wrestle Kingdom. So
Yeah, Triple H. I mean, Omega even said he would like to work with like WWE, do a super show or something like that. I think it can work with Triple H. He's gonna have to work. I just don't think if Vince is running creative, it wouldn't happen.
back to my story on Mercedes Moné. Mercedes Moné has a deal with New Japan. Last week at New Japan Wrestling's Battle in the Valley, Mercedes Moné. I'm gonna catch up on that tonight when I get home, so I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. Mercedes Moné will defeat Kairi Sane
Great match.
to win the IWGP Women's title.
I told y'all, I am watching a lot of Stardom and women's wrestling in Japan this year. Guarantee you, I'm telling you, my list is going to be heavily Stardom Japan.
Getting the title was the plan at the moment she signed the deal coming into the company. New Japan and Stardom wanted to make the belt more important by having her as champion. Plus, don't they have like other titles? You know more about Joshi than I do. Isn't there like a 5-star champ and
They got that.
star
They got
champ?
called a fast speed or something like the other title they have.
Mm-hmm.
They discontinued that. So yeah, they have multiple belts over there, but that's their main like crust though. Like that's the way like they headline like I think it was the first one that's like what's the name like a wrestler like headline Japan like a major Japan dome show. It wasn't Wrestle King, but like they have a lot of shows over in Japan and they headline before, so it's taking It was something real nice over there, and I'm happy for Kari too. She left WWE because she didn't like where she was going, and she went back. Went back home, you know, and it worked for her. She basically did Stardom, because basically it's just Stardom, basically rebranding everything, and she's making a lot of moves. I mean, a lot of great matches. I mean, I think I told you about the match between Starlight Kid and Azumi, which was a great match. That's like, I said it last, we did a review show. I said it's like Ricky Steamboat, Macho Man, Randy Savage, and Ricochet and Will Ospreay. Like, that's just a fast-paced match, and they went 30 minutes.
Speaking of which,
They went 30 minutes, so that's a good match. You can check that match out, too.
speaking of which, whether or not the belt stays on her lock depends on how long she sticks around. She's currently committed to 2 more dates, including April 8th against at New Japan Pro Wrestling, Sakura Genesis at Sumo Hall. She'll defend again.
That was the one that they Kari main evented at. Thank you. Good thing that came up.
Who she main events against?
I don't remember who she main evented again.
Was it Azumi?
No, it wasn't Azumi.
Well, Azumi's about to fight Mercedes Monet April 8th.
Oh,
At the
April 28th.
Sakura Genesis at Sumo Hall.
Oh, yeah.
That's what she's defending against. A rematch between Kairi Sane is planned, but the decision was made to make the switch to Azumi.
Oh, man, I can't wait for that.
So she may face Kairi Sane again down the line. We'll see. I guess it depends on her dates. Her next scheduled date is April 22nd, Stardom event in Yokohama Arena. She's scheduled to face Mayu Iwatani, which is likely to be a title match.
Okay, my fault. So, it was...
And they're saying Iwatani's more than likely going to win that match because that's Monet's last date in the company.
It was historic.
But if she sticks around, that could change. Continue, I'm sorry.
It was historic crossover. That was the event. It was at the Arki Arena in Tokyo, Japan. That's where Kairi Sane headline against against Mayu Iwatani. Yeah.
That's the one I'm talking about. She said that's the one on the 23rd. She may drop it, but that's what she faced that last year with Sakura Genesis.
Yeah, this also had Will Ospreay on the card. Chaos was on this card.
Wait, was that wasn't that
Los Ingobernables was on here against.
that wasn't that Osprey
No, this was Ospreay versus Shota Umino.
Oh no.
Single match for
Shota Umino.
United States.
Shota Umino, Moxley's dude. I thought you were gonna say it was that match. That must have been the year before last. The match I'm thinking Dominion. The match with him and I don't know why I can't think of his name right now.
And they do have Miss Tag.
My dude from Los Ingobernables.
It was a miss.
That was the title.
It was a Miss Tag match that happened over there, and Hiroshi Tanahashi and Utami Hashishita defeated Hiroku Goto and Makia Batenpa. So that was a Miss Tag match. So Ken Omega talking about they doing tag matches over there. Try to set something up with him, Mercedes Monet. So yeah. So this the one they had Mayu Iwatani for the finals for the inaugural IWGP Women's Championship. So they headlined this one. So
You ready?
What I'm talking about, yeah. And make sure I get my facts right. I want to get everything right on that one.
You're good. My next story is involving Brock Lesnar and how his plans for WrestleMania have changed over the last 2 weeks. So originally, a lot of people thought that he was going to be facing Gunther. Apparently, that was never the case. Not in the company, at least. But it also wasn't almost until 2 weeks ago, so now it is almost. That's basically.
I guess because of, almost won't get hurt if he loses compared to Gunter. Which makes sense because Gunter will have to drop that IC title to Brock. It would be.
Brock don't want no IC belt. I said Brock don't want no IC belt.
No, he don't. I know. That's why I was saying he had to be for the IC title. That's why I said I'm glad that it's not.
According to Daily Mail's Alice McCarthy, WWE's Money in the Bank event held at the O2 Arena in London, England, sold out in 1 minute. There were over 30,000 fans trying to get tickets in the general sale at one point on Ticketmaster alone. It is noted that the single holds and premium tickets will be all that's left soon. The event takes place July 1st. So that should be interesting. They got it going on because they got an AEW event coming too. I'm not saying it'd be a pay-per-view, but they got AEW coming over there this year. I know they said that. So that should be interesting. I got 3 stories left before we get into the reviews. Let's start off with, go in order. Start off with Elimination Chamber and then get to it. As this is taking this good old, hey, there it goes. So the next story I have for you, I'm saving the funniest for last, as we tend to like to do unless somebody died that week. We have no deaths this week that I know, thankfully. So that's a good thing. Come on. I know what it's supposed to be. It's just taking forever to want to go right now. It is basically about Ariel Helwani. So as I was saying about
basically called him fake.
Yeah, he did. And the reason he did it, I'm going to give you the overview of why he said that he's fake. But he said that he was fake because he was doing interviews with AEW and like not doing like exclusive stuff. But like he says like he be treating WWE different when he do interviews with them as opposed to AEW. Like almost like he's showing like a favoritism type of thing.
He did do exclusive. I remember with Sami Zayn. They asked him about Jay Briscoe, and he said one of the regrets. He said he always would reach out. He said he would always talk to Jay Briscoe. He always be like, yeah, I'm gonna come out there. He said big regret that he did come out there and just sucked the way that he found out about his death like that. He said he was going. They asked him, he's like, I'm gonna go to the funeral, show my respects there. He like, I feel like it's better for me to talk to the family and give my condolences in person instead of doing it like over like social media and everything like that.
Yeah, he said it was a whole bunch of people there.
He wasn't taking the jab by way of like giving your condolences and everything on social media when he was saying. He was just saying that like he grew up with them since like he was like a teenager, you know.
I listened to a Jericho podcast though dedicated to Jay Briscoe's death, and he was talking to a bunch of different people that mostly interacted with him through his time in ROH that were in AEW, like the Young Bucks.
They did a tribute show, I remember. A tribute show to him.
Yep.
They played something like Greatest Match. They played his match with Adam Cole, you know, for the ROH Championship. He became the first 2-time ROH champion. Like,
it was Jay Briscoe, the Young Bucks, not Jay Briscoe, he passed, obviously, sorry. Jay Lethal.
Oh, Jay Lethal.
He ended the show, and he almost had me crying the way he was crying about him. That was his dude, all like that. Also, Christopher Daniels spoke on there, and Baba, the dude that's Jay Lethal manager, Sanjay Dutt. He spoke on there also because they all interacted with him the most, I guess, that are currently in AEW. Also, Hangman Page was on there because he had a singles match with Jay Briscoe. He said he was one of his favorites he ever worked with in his career because of the level he brings out of you and like the passion, you know what I'm saying, type of thing. So this finally pulled. Tony Khan called Ariel Helwani a fraud after SmackDown appearance, and Helwani responded. Ariel Helwani responded.
Nobody like him. Dana White don't even like him.
He said Helwani's response to Khan was, "Thanks for watching, old friend. Can't wait for our next chat." Also, don't listen to the snowman, Shivani. You're a legend in my books. I'm not sure who the
I mean, I don't like.
snowman
I'm gonna
is,
be
but
honest.
I
I
agree.
really don't like Ariel Helwani
So
either.
the original quote he said at this is from Khan, at Helwani, you're a fraud. You're legitimate as you're as legitimate of a reporter as Tony Schiavone is.
Why y'all making fun of my man T-Bone? What did he do? Y'all doing too much. Leave my man alone, man.
Yeah, man. So that was that's because he was on that show there in Montreal on the SmackDown, and then did something on the pay-per-view with GSP. You know what I'm saying? And then Michael Cole wanted to take a dig or whatever. A lot of people don't like Ariel Helwani.
Some people don't like him. No, they don't.
A lot of
White
people
don't like him either.
Oh yeah, he's had him kicked out of it. They have a long history. They have a long history there. So here's some news about Forbidden Door. Tony Khan's looking forward to the next one. During a recent interview with In the Click, AEW President and CEO Tony Khan was asked about potential return to AEW X New Japan Pro Wrestling Forbidden Door. We were at the first one. And if it will happen again, Tony Khan said the following, quote, "We always built up a big event, AEW and New Japan coming together for Forbidden Door. I think Forbidden Door 1 was a big success. We're looking for more forward doing it together again. They sent a lot of their top stars to AEW and to ROH, and I love working with them. It's been a great relationship, and there's a lot of trust between the parties. I'm not sure what the next one will be. I heard a rumor coming out, something about Spectrum releasing the date to be June 24th based upon their scheduling calendar or something. I guess they're scheduling around that, sports related or something, of which, but they said they're expecting it to be June 24th, but I didn't hear of a location of where that would be. Last year's was on June 26th in Chicago, Illinois. AEW is known for repeating locations for pay-per-views, at least for certain pay-per-views, such as All Out's always in Chicago. Double or Nothing was reportedly supposed to always be in Vegas at first, but then the pandemic happened, so I wouldn't be surprised if the next Double or Nothing is back in Vegas again, but who knows. So we'll see where that goes, and we'll keep you updated here on the show when we get there. And my last story, you ready? You ready? Oh, yeah. Randy Savage's rap album is getting re-released in April. Be a man. Hit the bar goes, be a man, Hogan. Come on, don't be scared. That was his half bar right there.
His half bar when it's big and Hogan.
Those are the lyrics on the title track of Macho Man, Randy Savage's 2003 rap album, Be a Man, which you have forgotten about, or perhaps you purged from your memory. Either way, Macho Man is hitting music stores again. The album will get a limited re-release on April 22nd, Record Store Day. There will only be 1,000 copies sold. So somebody's going to buy that and put that on eBay for a ridiculous price. Promotional material.
Oh, yeah, I know they are.
The promotional material reads, Macho Man. Randy Savage was a WWE wrestling superstar with dazzling over-the-top costumes. His signature phrase, sorry, I cleared my throat at the wrong time. Oh, yeah. Did not get a good one off. Let's do that again. Oh, yeah. That still wasn't a good one. Oh yeah, dig it. Oh yeah, dig it. That's better, way better. Won over wrestling fans worldwide and eventually was seen in nearly every Slim Jim commercial. He even played wrestler Bonesaw McGraw in 2002 movie Spider-Man. His music career started in '93 with his debut, WrestleMania, the album.
That album. Stop it. Oh, God, I remember that.
It was sold in stores. It charted. Along the side of other top wrestlers such as Bret Heyman Hart, The Undertaker, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and others, on October 7, 2003, Savage released his debut rap hip-hop album titled Be a Man, which is sold for the years for staggering amounts on eBay. It includes a tribute to fellow wrestler Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig, who passed earlier this year. It also included the title track. Earlier that year he passed. Included a title track, Be a Man. That was aimed right at fellow wrestling icon and former Mega Powers tag team partner Hulk Hogan. Fortunately, before Savage's death, he had the opportunity to bury the hatchet with Hogan after a decade-long feud that many thought was just a marketing gimmick. Why do I kind of feel like that's what Hogan put out, so now people were just taking that as word? And I feel like that never really came out Macho Man off. So, like, who knows? Maybe Macho Man said, like, you still a sucker-ass nigga, but I'll let it go. I don't know.
Because I remember they was asking about interviews. They were telling him, like, oh, yeah, who are some people that you look up to? Like, you think, like, right now, and he mentioned people like The Rock. He said, yeah, I like The Rock. Like, yeah, I like The Rock. I hear a lot of things about that locker room leader, you know. He's like, I still hate you. Like, oh, he's the third leader in Hogan. I still can't stand him. You're still talking
shit. See what I'm saying?
Hogan. Like, bro.
He took that bitch to death, bro. I'm telling you. This rap album.
He screwed him at 5, man. He screwed him. Mox was supposed to go over at 5. Then Hogan all of a sudden.
He pulled that contract clause, brother.
Mm-hmm.
It's in my contract. I gotta pull it. I gotta get to 1, 2, 3, brother. This rap album includes DJ Cool and a very club-like vibe, Hit the Floor, the second single, which has been amazing to see live. It also included Big K. I love how it says these names like we know them. It also included, when you hear the names, you're going to laugh even harder. So it also includes the names Big K, Brian O, The Rascals. Do you know how The Rascals is spelled?
No.
Let's put it this way. Duh, ain't no TH in it. So, it's spelled D-A space R-A Skulls. Incorporated. Elliot Harris, Cheyenne Raymana, Mo Blaze, and Smoke with 2K.
Think about that.
Smoke with 2Ks, because you had 3Ks, then it would have been racist.
Smoke, blaze, and smoke.
Right? Mo Blaze and Smoke. And because like I said, think about it. 'Cause it had to be with 2Ks. It's extra like smoke. It's extra, you know what I'm saying? But if we had 3Ks, then it's racist, you know what I'm saying? So you couldn't do that one.
Oh,
Couldn't do that. So, now for the first time on vinyl, this amazing rap album has been completely remastered from vinyl and includes a 2-sided full-color print insert with photos and album history. Album history? You reckon this is platinum?
Hey,
album history. It comes in a black polyline sleeve.
I said he did the WrestleMania album. Y'all said it charted, so I guess it counts.
It comes with a black polyline sleeve with a hype sticker and purple vinyl.
Buy that just because they have it.
The best part was when he started saying this album included. I'm like, why you saying like motherfuckers know who this is? So hey, Brian O. Smoke.
I'm gonna do an album like that. I'm Smoke with 2K.
Smoke.
Put a hard emphasis on that K.
You gotta emphasize it. You ain't gonna know what you're talking about. If you just like Smoke, you like Friday, like no, rapper.
And he went from he went to some. He started with the first name. The middle name was like some I feel like some cheesy white people like Brian O. Was one like a Cheyenne or something.
Yeah.
Then you go to Mo Blaze and Smoke.
I want to know what tracks they run. I want to know what tracks they run. Like when Macho Man talking about getting blazed with Mo Blaze and Smoke. Like I want to get this. I want to get this damn thing just for show research at this point. I think it'd be hilarious.
Back all over the place.
Hilarious.
All over the place. Oh, I gotta stop. Okay, I'm about to die over here.
Okay, so let's get into Elimination Chamber from last weekend. Good show. I find it.
I gotta recover.
You're fine. I know. I find it funny that they like. So the WWE somehow stretched a pay-per-view that honestly probably should have been 2.5 hours, an extra hour, by doing those bullshit ass. At first I liked it, but now I don't. Well, they're like
stuff for the Joker commercial.
no, though they did show that like 2 times during that thing. They'll like do an not interview, but like I forgot what you want to call it, almost like a profile piece. There we go. On a wrestler you already know about. They're like, it'll be like about the Miz or whatever, and then it starts from his beginnings when he started there to now. Like, hey, motherfucker, we know you. Like, see you there for somebody coming in like y'all used to with debuting wrestlers. You never see that no more. They just bring a cat in out of nowhere. You just say, hey, I know where that guy is backstage at Raw. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't like they used to.
Oh, I know that security guard. He's gonna be a star king. All right, Chamber. Let's start off first off with the Women Limited Chamber match. We're not going to go in depth at these. Basically, this match consists of Raquel Rodriguez, Nikki Cross, Natalya, Carmella, Asuka, and Leah Morgan.
Let me ask you a question. Did you feel like they foreshadowed it the whole fucking way? Because I did.
I mean,
From the moment the match started, I was like, yeah, she's winning.
everybody knew Asuka was winning. That's the thing.
I don't know. I feel like they telegraphed it the whole time, too. Like, everybody had to go make a googly eye face at her behind the glass. And once they got inside the chamber, that type of stuff, I felt like gave it away. Like, during the match itself, not necessarily, but just stuff around it. I was like, you know who's going to win.
Yeah, I like the way they did it. Just highlight everybody like strength, like how like resourceful Carmella be. You know, Nikki Cross just all over the damn place. Like you don't know where she going. To Raquel Rodriguez, and then of course you know Natalya, who's like again you put her in the match because like you know that like she's like the glue that like goes on together. So smart match. Morgan basically passed out. Rodriguez basically power to everybody, but Asuka wins this match. She basically was unstoppable. Not as dominant as Shayna Baszler was when she eliminated everybody when she was in her chamber match, but it was. We already knew what it was going to be. But I want to get this though. I want to say one thing though about Nikki Cross though. Do you know how crazy she is?
I'm very happy she's back to
I love the
that
fact,
is her, bro.
ain't even not that. I just love the fact she was so scared of going to the pod. I'm like, yes, that's your character. You don't no more locked doors, okay? She don't like to be confined. Fine. That was awesome. Next was Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar. By the way, I got this match right. This brother, he won by the.
You won by a dick kick.
Hey, so win's a win.
I like how he clarified the shit. Like, so by the way, you know, I won this one. Like, no, hold on.
Hey,
He kicked him in the dick.
Don't matter. Still a win.
Dick kick city. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, that wasn't nothing about this match that really was good. I mean, this the book you probably want to do so that you probably try. I thought you would book that because you wanted to have him go again at Mania, but that's gonna be different. So he basically low blowed him, got started, got DQ, F5 the ref. Next was Edge and Beth Phoenix versus Finn Balor and Rhea Ripley. Good match back and forth. I mean, Dominic always tried to help out every chance he can. I like the fact that Edge and Beth Phoenix hit the Shatter Machine. And then that, shout out to Dax Harwood too, because he's been training with Edge. And so he said he got emotional when he seen them do it. No, he's real good friends with Edge, you know. Like he even called him by his first name, like Adam, when they like interviewed him. I'm like, yeah, that's how you know you're typing somebody. You call him
It was Dax or Cash.
Dax.
Okay, 'cause I know Cash helped him train to come back.
Yeah.
For like Rumble and stuff like that. So okay, that's cool.
So that was a good match. Again, hometown pop. It was funny that they were chanting derogatory stuff at Mysterio, which was awesome. Next, your men elimination chamber match, which features Seth Rollins, Austin Theory, Bronson Reed, Montez Ford, Johnny Gargano, and Damian Priest.
Since you're kicking shit, I won this one, and I told you.
You did pick 4.
I know. I said if my heart is picking, I'm picking Montez Ford, but my brain is saying Theory.
Okay, so you did pick. You probably did pick Theory. I got checked. I got check and see. See. Yeah, though. The main story of this match was Montez Ford with the injury. Basically, it wasn't a real injury, just an injury so that Logan Paul can come in here and basically kick off his program versus Seth Rollins. This was the NXT chamber match. They just built up to all the big spots at the end. And like everybody had a chance to shine instead of just setting up for like 1 or 2 guys. Everybody had their moments. So yeah, I'll give this. But this was a great chamber match. Montez Ford to me is just again, bro, like just everything that he just doing. Then the main event, Roman Reigns, Sami Zayn. What a match.
Very much so.
What a match.
It was.
Match.
Though you knew the results, I like how it ended up working out. It was a great match.
All the emotion.
Though he kind of just had no chance in hell.
All the emotion. I mean, Triple H and the Creative, they did this perfectly, bro. They've been cutting with this. Like, you just think, like, man, you think it'll stale out by now, but I'll just keep adding more intrigue to it. Basically, straight 2.9. Every pin kick out by Reigns, like, at a dead, like, 99999, 2.999 count. 9 count. Jay came out there, refused to hit him with the chair. Roman mushed him in his face. That's his thing now. He just mushes you. And it's funny because, like, as you call yourself a tribal chief, that's like the perfect thing because it's like so demeaning and humiliating to get mushed by somebody, and you can't do nothing back because he's like the tribal chief. So Jay went to what's his name, wound up eating the kick, getting a spear from Reigns. Kevin Owens laid out Jimmy. Reigns was a little bit kick. This was after the match, after Reigns won. Stood tall. A lot of people was upset that Zayn lost this match, but like at the same time, I'm like, no, I'm kind of not. I mean, you knew he was going to lose. It was just like how y'all built it up, you know, for the finish. And what you going to do about Jay and Sammy. So, great match. I just love the fact that he was calling his wife. He's like, I just want us to work together. He just kept talking to his wife who was there. As he beating up your husband, he just talking to you saying, we could have been friends. I wanted to just work with him, you know. Also, too, the crowd after this match. You know, y'all talk about how like a crowd reaction helped like with a match. The fact that when Sammy lost, the crowd was silent, bro. You ain't heard no boo. It was just silent, just like ain't nobody said nothing. Nothing. That what makes it even better. So, and also to the fact that he let Kevin Owens let Sammy get the haluva kick off him on time, but then he just left. So they also showed the fact that like, no, they're still not cool. They still got stuff they need to work out. So
we'll get into that when we get in the Raw.
So, and that was the end of Elimination Chamber. Been a great pay-per-view. I mean, I just hate pay-per-views where most of the matches are like easy, like you know, going to win.
That's 90% of their pay-per-view.
Yeah, but at least all the matches were good though outside the Brock Lesnar match.
Yeah.
That match sucked. But outside that, all the matches were good though.
I honestly can't complain at all on that one, just for the simple fact that I've asked for Brock versus Block for years, and they finally gave it to me. So
you can't. So you just like it is what it is. Even though
it's in their hands. I said the whole time, like I don't trust the bookers, but they have the participants, so I guess I have to go with it. Yeah. Over on Monday Night Raw, we started off with Sami Zayn, who actually brought up that fact. Kevin Owens came out to help him out at the end of the show. He tried to call him out to say thank you. We should team up against the Bloodline. Kevin Owens was like, fuck that shit. He said, you had their back for how fucking long, bro? And you let them shit on me for how long? And not once did you try to step in and help. Now everything want to change recently. So no, I don't want to. He said, do I want to take the Bloodline down? Yes. Do I want to help you do it? I'm good on that, cuz. Basically. And then rolled out on him. And then before Sami Zayn can leave the ring, that led to our first match and our bad of the week on Raw. For me personally, some people might have other opinions on other stuff. For me, it was this, and I'll tell you why. Sami Zayn defeated Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin came down as being a salty little bitch. Just basically because he wasn't on that pay-per-view, and he felt like Sami Zayn was bitching, even though he just had a title shot and he lost, but the least you're still there. And he just got dumped by JBL, who was supposed to be his manager. You know what I'm saying? He's had basically the worst roller coaster year in the last. That's what I want. I want bum ass Corbin back. That's my point. That's why this is the worst of the week. You come down and just lose the cats all the time. Lose is how they book you. That's your character now. And it's like, at least when you have bum ass Corbin behind it, you had some storyline there. It made sense. Now you're just going back to this big suck. And it doesn't. I hate that. You know, at least it's happy Corbin. Y'all came out, you told the corny jokes. Y'all had the feud with McIntyre that kind of, was all right. Better than most of the stuff they force feed you down your throat from Baron Corbin.
People pay Baron Corbin and let them beat him. Add bum ass Corbin.
Man, there was some good man.
Let me give you $200 and let me squash you tonight. He's like, I'm a wrestler, but then you look at it like, oh, okay, I need the money.
He looked to a regular jobber at like
the best
30 seconds.
The best was when he stole Big E IC Championship backstage. He looked so desperate and thirsty, bro. It was hilarious. He had just lost the match. He had been wearing the same clothes for like 3 days or like 3 weeks. He was all disheveled, like he had that 5 shadow coming in. And he was like, he walked backstage in the middle of the interview. He was so distraught. His eyes just like drifted off to the right, and he saw it, and he ran after it like a crackhead stealing somebody's purse. It was so funny.
My man went to
it was so funny, man. I loved Bum Ass Corbin. Bum Ass Corbin was one of my favorite WWE characters of the last like 20, 30 years. I swear to God, he's hilarious. He was hilarious. Anyway, so of course Bum Ass Corbin lost that match. Next up, Mustafa Ali had a match with Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler called him out, talking about too happy-go-lucky around here. Maybe somebody needs to knock the setting to you. Maybe it should be me. Tweener?
Okay.
No, someone.
It's hard.
You know. Mustafa Ali beat him with the crucifix.
Who had more heel turns? Him or Big Show?
Big Show.
I was thinking that too. He's up there.
Yeah.
He's up there.
Asuka defeated Nikki Cross with a double armbar. After the show, if you haven't noticed, been a story going around Nikki Cross where she's been following around Candice LeRae. Apparently, they're going to team them up or at least have a mini faction with them because she feels like she doesn't have any friends. For some reason, she confided that in Candice LeRae. We'll see where this goes.
Back to the NXT
They talked backstage, so we'll see where that goes. Seth Rollins.
Next feud.
Seth Rollins still pissed off about what happened in Elimination Chamber. Did you bring that part of it up?
Yeah, Logan Paul came out there and
All right.
won the title.
So Logan, he's still mad about that, and he's going to take that ass whooping out on the Miz this week because he feels like the Miz brought him into the WWE, so the Miz is part of the fault for this. He was very pissed off about this backstage. See, he was mega maniacal in the promo he cut before the match backstage with Kathy Kelly. It was actually pretty good.
Love some wrong promo.
So he's 5-2, you know. This is
He's in that boat with Ryan and Mike.
He won via a referee stoppage, which honestly I thought they were going to DQ him. He curb stopped him like 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
He just didn't stop curb stopping him, and the ref was like, "Stop, it's over, you won." And like honestly, I thought they were going to DQ him because he didn't. I figured they were going to DQ him because he didn't stop doing it, but
yeah, because they're good for reversing decisions like that.
Next match, Bronson Reed defeated Chad Gable doing the tsunami, which is basically
top rope body smash.
that, but he also does the Tour of the Islands like Jeff Cobb, though. That's like his setup move is the Tour of the Island.
Signature move.
Mm-hmm. Also, they kept teasing him versus oh yeah, Otis. You got that coming up.
Oh, that's funny too. So that's another thing. Back to talk about the 2K ratings.
Yeah.
So they do their ratings, and it was like, Otis at 83. They're like, so Chad, what do you think that Otis like 77 in the last game? He like, no, he's training, he's getting better. He like me. He like, man, he like, I'm a well-deserved athlete. He like, I am fine too. He like, I got like a bachelor degree. Like, man, I should be up there high.
78.
77.
That was close. I was close.
Otis like, something had to be wrong there. They had to make a mistake. He was so funny. He came here to the Rossville with a business suit on, looking all strong like he about to get a 90. Oh, they get tell no, you're 77. It was so funny.
Austin Theory defeated Edge in the main event because he had an open challenge. And Edge answered it at the press conference after Elimination Chamber. He won this by distraction because Balor came down to the ring. Edge got caught off guard. He countered the move at first with his own roll-up, but then that got countered into the A-Town down, and he lost the match. Then got beat down by Balor after the match. So their long-ass feud is still not over. Haven't they been doing this for almost a year now? Damn it has been a year. They formed this group with Edge over a year ago.
It started at Mania. It ended at Mania. No, it didn't start at Mania.
I don't think it needed to go that long. You could have ended shit at SummerSlam last year. And
I like it though, because then we get Balor on the Mania.
Shoehorn. But okay, I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you.
Come on, man. Look, hey.
I'll give it to you. I like your reasoning. I like your reasoning.
I know it's going to be a bomb match between them two. We're going to NXT. Okay, so NXT might be a little long because as we do this, but I want to try to recap stuff on NXT. Like you're probably going to do an AEW because these are like our main separate shows.
Okay, good.
So, start off with the main thing that this NXT was about was the beef between Grayson Waller and Shawn Michaels. Let's get back to it. It started at Vengeance where Waller had the match against Braun Breaker for the NXT Championship. It was a steel cage match, but the rule was you can only win by escape. Grayson Waller, some weird way, forgot about that rule and goes for a pinfall. He hits the rolling cutter, and then all of a sudden he loses via spear. What makes it funny was after the match was over, as they're going off the air, he barged into like creative where Shawn Michaels at, and he just started laying into Shawn Michaels, bro. He just started talking the shit out of him. And this thing kept going and going until we hit Tuesday. So, do you remember the angle where Diaz was beating with Vince McMahon? And they took over the production truck, basically. It was doing like little drawings and stuff like that.
Yes.
They did something different like that. So the match started, Braun Breaker beat Jinder Mahal. By the way, as much as I shit on Jinder Mahal, This was actually probably one of his best matches. It's not saying much because it's Jinder Mahal. But so Melo comes out here, look like Melo about to stake his claim, which I'm calling it now. I think he gets bought up after Mania. Only for you to see like a fire stick, somebody hit Peacock, somebody hit WWE, and then somebody hit Vengeance Day, the Grayson Waller, and he basically just dogged Shawn Michaels, bro. He said, I remember you the same guy that when you was running everything in the 90s, you used to use your power, your influence to do whatever the hell you want. No reason nobody liked you. Like you. He like, so now, when you see somebody young like me coming up, you want to try to shit all over me and stop me from doing what I'm doing. Basically, negate the fact that Michael gave you 2 title shots over the course of 6 weeks. So the thing I get with this is basically, this is what I say WWE, we talk about book yourself in the corner. WWE, you got to book yourself in the corner. So are you going to set up Shawn Michaels coming back? What do Grayson Waller?
Listen, do you know what that looked like last time? He's considered by many one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. I'm not arguing that. Last time he pulled off Kane's mask and hair. I'll leave it there.
My thing is this though, like, what do they? So, what? I'm not saying they are going to do it, but this whole shit makes no sense. This is why. Grayson Waller beating Shawn Michaels don't do nothing. You beat a man that's almost 60. But if you lose to that man that's almost 60, that hurts your credibility. And then you had Tyler Bate on behalf of Shawn Michaels and beat you. So where do that go? Like, I don't understand where it goes. Thank you, sir. So they're trying to do the whole story angle that they did with Austin. First with Austin and Monsoon, and then Austin and Vince, but they're reversing the top, but they're doing heel versus face. So I don't know how they're going to do it. I don't like this angle. But we are going to do. Let's get to. So that was a meh. I'm gonna get to a good this week. Trick Williams. One thing I'll talk about Trick Williams. We always say he's that guy that write checks at his ass and cash. His match against Dragunov this week was awful. This is actually the first time you actually like seen like Trick Williams like actually get into his bag. Like, and it was a great match. He was gonna lose the match. I mean, could you set up him and JD? But it was a great back and forth match. He looked like a threat in this match. Like, he looked like he could actually beat Dragunov. But he looked good in the feet, but it was just set up Dragunov and JD, but he held his own in this contest. Like I said, I hope they still do something with Trick Williams, because I think Hayes get bought up after Mania. Also, too,
maybe he gets more of a solo push at that point.
I'm hoping so. And then also later, Melo and Tyler Bate both gave him props for his showing. So that could be Raw. I'm sorry too, they changed his music. They changed Dragunov music. I don't like it. This is the one part I hate. I hate when I have to give praise for people that I don't like or things I don't like, but it was good. I'm going to even start it off like this. I'm going to give Schism their credit Tuesday. And you know my thing with Joe. I call them spam. He's like that spam email that you keep getting and try to delete, but they keep coming and coming and coming. Awesome. Promo. He surrounded Tyler Bate during his promo and basically like did the same thing, you know, one route, you know, that whole thing that they've been doing. This led to a match against Chase U, which they wanted revenge because, by the way, Ava Rain, she no longer has the reign. She lost her last name, so she's just Ava now. Kidnapped Thea Hale like 3 weeks ago. And basically sent her back out there at the end of the match with Chase U with like black makeup all over herself. She got some little stickers all over herself. She looked like, it looked like it physically scarred, like it mentally scarred her. So they had a match against the Dyad, which, by the way, they looked at more like, they went more in a grizzled young veterans bag in this match. I still can't get they looks like them red eyes is creepy as hell to me. But Ava comes out there, and then she basically approached Thea again. Andre Chase comes out there and leaves Duke Hudson to take the pin. So Duke yelled at Thea, basically saying that she need to grow up and fend for herself. He believes Chase coddles her, so they're gonna lead to the breakup right there. Let's get to this. JCJ, this was good this week. So remember we talked about their breakup. I told you they did the whole barbershop segment. Something like ding dong hello.
Yep.
She had the super kick. She's supposed to kick her head through the door, but the door wouldn't break, so it looked way worse on camera than it did. She basically come up with a promo, basically said she's tired of hearing about Gigi Dollar. She had a match against Indy Hartwell, poor Indy Hartwell. She went from Dexter Loomis to squash enhancement talent. Now, I mean, unless she was in a rumble, that's good. Basically, she lost. She, you know who won this match. JCJ won this match. It was after the match. Gigi, when I say Gigi Dollar came back on one, she came back on one. Like, she damn near kicked that girl's head off without the door, breaking the fall. Out the fall. So, and then she played the cowardly, JC played the cowardly heel who runs away, you know, so they're going to lead to a match I think is going to be awesome. The bad. The match between Gallus, by the way, who are your new NXT tag team champions.
Were my boys in it?
They defeated the new.
Yeah, boy. Oh yeah, I forgot they lost the belts to New Day. Okay.
No, they no, but they are involved in this match in kind of way, so you still get to say it.
Yeah, boy.
So to get Idris and North and Malik Blade, this match was sloppy. It was a sloppy match. It didn't last long though because your boy showed up with cake for the tag team champions. They sent the cake. Guess who was in that cake?
It was a man-sized cake.
Pretty Deadly was in that cake.
Yeah.
And then they attacked him with chairs, let them get the steel steps, and used them steps as weapons. So they basically beat the hell out of Gallus. So they basically showing that they still in the claim for the championship. And I like that too, because one thing we know about Gallus, you know, they like stiff competitors. Next, another bad. Von Wagner. Robert
I mean, you said that like he was good at some point. Another bad.
His match against Solo was good. That street fight match they had.
He said another bad. Like what's the count here? 0 to 120?
This was bad because of all the people that was in it. So, first of all, you got Robert Stone, who now is Mr. Stone. He keep asking Von to do stuff that he can't comprehend. And then this leads to him accepting the match against Tony D'Angelo, B- Mafia guy. And then Von lost to him. Yes, he lost to the B- Mafia guy. And then the crowd basically was telling Wagner during the match, they basically changed, you can't wrestle. So they're just bored, and then they hate Robert Stone, they called him boring. The NXT crowd was on one during this match. I loved it. Loved it. But the one good thing we are about to get Dijak versus Tony D'Angelo in a jailhouse street fight at Roadblock.
Is it Dijak again?
Yes.
It's not that.
It's not T-Bar, it's Dijak.
Good.
Yes, he got that.
I like Dijak. Dijak's dope. I don't understand why they don't think he's dope.
Next, Nikita Lyons. She showed up on
Finally. Okay, you're good. I'm sorry.
She showed up on crutches after successful surgery. They did the whole somebody took her knee out angle. I know. Yeah.
I mean, her whole thing was the split spin type of thing. So.
But this was funny. So they was interviewing her about. She like, I don't know who tacked her. Timmy Strat came up, and she like, I got a tip for me. I know she meant what she like. Yeah, nobody cares who attacked you. It just walked out. So they set up a program probably for them whenever she comes back. Because she kind of came back from the ACL injury quickly last time. She healed from the last time. I think she was back in like 6-7 months.
For the Cena, huh?
Yeah.
Speed him.
Yeah. Another thing, the team, I'll tell you, Tatum Paxley and Ivy now with a team. You like that team might get broken up. She just looked. It leads to the fact that when it comes to who took out Nikita Lyons, she looks so selfish, like she's one of the people that did it. did it. And then she's also unsure of the partnership. So, how can I put this? Tatum Paxley is like that one friend who think they family, but they just end up overstaying their welcome. That's her with Dynamite right now. She just there, like, and it shows in the match because they had a tag match against Isla Donna and Alba Fire, who finally embraced her dark side, and they are a tag team now. And this basically was a squash match. Alba broke Ivy finisher. She ran him into Tatum and then still in the apron. So showing that their issues between them are ongoing. The last thing was bad. So we got Roxanne Perez and Meiko Satomura, the last Emperor. They were training together. This leads to the fact that Roxanne Perez will be defending her title against her at Roadblock. It's a respect thing.
Quick question.
Yes.
Sorry to cut you off there. Is Meiko Satomura like in her 40s, bro?
Yes, like 46.
Thoughts. Now, I'm not hating when I say that. Because Asuka's in her 40s. She doesn't look it, but she is.
She can go for 46, though.
I know, but I'm saying there's a lot of older women wrestlers that are like thriving right now. And especially there, which is surprising, because their age is as fuck.
Yeah.
When, you about 30, 35, I'm like, all right, well, we got this old 23-year-old down here who used to be a fitness model. She's been training for 2 weeks, but she look better than you, so you about to put her over.
That's true. Cause you have like a lot of So basically, it's a respect thing. They was training. She telling her like, giving her like quotes and everything like that. I really don't like this. I mean, she basically has to fight her, and then we don't know who her next challenger for the title is going to be down the line.
Guess you're probably gonna be dropping it soon or coming up.
Down the line. So that's it.
In my opinion. Go ahead.
That's it for NXT. I mean, I said some other stuff that didn't get touched on this week. Like I said, I don't know. Fallon Henley and Kiana James are the new NXT Women Tag Team Champions. They won the belt by cheating. Fallon didn't know that she cheated for the match, which led to Katana Chance and Kane Carr basically was shitting on Roxanne Perez. They need somebody to take it out on. This how it led to the fact of them two teaming up. She reached out to her and said, I need a favor. And she said, sure. They teamed up. They won the match. And then you know what her favor was? I want to shot at that title. That leads to the matchup between them. So that's going to be a good match. That is the end of NXT, though.
All right. While you're doing that, I have Dynamite and Rampage loaded up, starting with AEW Dynamite. All right. So, over on Dynamite this week, and I'm going to make this, as you noticed, as I was doing that with Raw, trying to make it a little less long form for you there. So, what happened on AEW Dynamite this week? The show started off with a sort of grudge match. A lot of people forgot, but this is one of my favorite things I always mention about AEW that they do that I love. The show emanated from Phoenix, Arizona. Not that made a big difference, but just in case you were wondering. The All-Atlantic Championship match opened the show with Orange Cassidy taking on against Wheeler Yuta. And eventually he didn't take off against his ass. But the match was dominated by Yuta. I love that Orange did his Orange thing at first. Almost like, I feel like that was his olive branch to how he felt, because this was all set up last week when Yuta confronted Orange and says, now that I have this, and I'm with Blackpool Combat Club, summarize what he was saying, I'm so much of a better wrestler because I go so much harder. You never taught me anything. You just let Chuck talk shit to me, and this and that. So now I got this pure
he was
championship.
temporarily with best friend.
Yeah, that's why I said continuity.
Mm.
So
was it Trent who got hurt?
yeah, and he
then
came
had
back and
COVID?
was salty about Wheeler Yuta being in best friends because he came in while he was out.
And then didn't he have COVID? So it means Wheeler Yuta stayed around longer, if I'm not mistaken, right? Okay.
And he was always shitting on him.
Yeah.
So
I forgot about that.
yeah, he was always shitting on him. So
God. So is he a heel or like is he
in this
still
match, I wouldn't say overall, but in this match,
he just felt that line.
they've been doing more heel stuff recently, especially with this match, and I'll tell you about some stuff that happened. So he basically came out and was like, you didn't, you know what I'm saying, you didn't protect me against him. You didn't teach me nothing. Look what I've gained since I've been with them. I'm now the pure champion, and now I want your belt too, just to teach you a lesson or whatever. Right. And Orange was just like, no, whatever, let's do it. You know his reaction.
Oh yeah, like.
You know his reaction and everything. So he came out, he hit the ring. Wheeler Yuta came out during the match. At first, like I said, Orange did this Orange thing. Like he tried to give him a hug, like kind of, you know, almost like that's his way of squashing it. He tried to do the kicks. He offered his hand at the beginning of the match, kind of like a ROH match, since that is the ROH Pure Champion he was facing. But this wasn't an ROH match, so Wheeler Yuta slapped him in the mouth. Wheeler Yuta was going in on him at first. He was going in on him at first and was beating him down. Eventually, by the end, he pissed Orange off enough by the end of the match that he had to win the match with 2 orange punches, both. Well, the first one I don't think was, but I know the second one was. The second one was harder than the first. The first he was standing. The second, Wheeler was on his knees when he gave it to him. This was a great match between the two. I love the fact that in the middle of the match, and this is what I mean, but I'm not sure if he's face or heel, because this is some heel shit to do. Claudio Castagnoli came out in the middle of the match, like he didn't like how Wheeler Yuta was wrestling, like called him to the outside and slapped him in the face, like what the fuck up?
Damn.
Like that, kind of like, he didn't say that, but that's how it kind of was insinuated.
Right, came off,
yeah, so then he went back in the ring and started going hard on Orange for the whole match. It was a pretty good opening match to me. Your second match of the card. After that, skipping some promos this week, and none that were really super important.
Yeah, usually your whole promo thing, it was a good promo. That's one thing.
It depends. Yeah, if it's that good of a promo, I will. I mean, and this is not saying anything new, but
by the way,
MJF has been in special form for weeks.
By the way, when we do get to SmackDown, I have a promo by Strong that you go to.
Okay. But he's been on his shit always, but like he's been in special form the last couple of weeks though. Cause did you hear we haven't had the show here. He had one of my favorites a couple weeks ago because he went Katie Vick. Let me explain. So he cut a promo on Danielson. This is after a match that he had, and he actually bled in the match. Oh no, I'm sorry. He beat the crap out of the person in the match in a minute, and that guy bleed. It was a match against Konosuke Tateska. Split him open. It was a good match. Yeah. Split him open with the diamond ring. Bryan Danielson came out to end to make the save, but like he still had his blood all over his like bloody hand. Not his hands, but like his hands taped. It was on the tape. So he was cutting an interview with Renee. And I think it was Renee. And the way he said, he was like, matter of fact, no, it wasn't. I think it was Lexi, because she was fucking horrified looking at her face. It was hilarious. So he was like, so I had this girl I wanted to get with back when I was in high school. I loved her shit. She was super hot. Everybody was on her. So then we get to the car, I'm the big man, so you know what I'm doing. I'm like, hey, you want to take this ride? You know it ain't free. It's all girl. So I'm paraphrasing when I say that. So basically he was saying she started sucking his dick in the car and shit. Right? So he was saying like she was giving me some good wood and I couldn't control the car and I crashed. He said, so I crashed and her blood, she's damn near almost through the windshield, passed out. Police are on their way. So I did the only thing I thought I could do. Of course we switched seats. The way he said it, not something you should laugh at, but I was dying like this motherfucker is an asshole, bro. That was borderline Katie Vick. He wasn't humping a corpse or a fake corpse, but it was borderline Katie Vick status. That's why I was like, you just went there, bro. Like, all right, you really just did that.
This is the car. Yeah,
this week,
like, whoa, hold on, bro. What?
This week he did it again in his promo.
Oh God, no.
Nah, he didn't say that one specifically. Let me go back. I'm gonna go to his specific, so I can. I'm not gonna read it word for word, but I'll paraphrase exactly what he has said in it. Also, there was another 2 other promos I guess that are worth noting. I'll say here while I'm scrolling for this. One was Adam Cole will be back at the Go Home. Before, I believe he said at the Go Home.
He's face now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's pushing very face. Yeah.
Man, that's weird.
Yeah. Because you can see him as a face going against MJF down the line.
Yeah.
He might be the one that might take it off him eventually.
I
But
hope so.
he's making an in-ring return. I believe it's at this week's Dynamite coming up because they're also going to be showing. They have a new AEW behind the scenes reality show called AEW All Access, which is going to go behind the scenes for certain wrestlers and such. And he announced that, and then during that, he also announced that he's back. He's back, you know what I'm saying, for his in-ring return. So also, Christian Cage came back. He was gonna do an interview. He got jumped from behind by Jungle Boy, but then eventually he got the upper hand on Jungle Boy though.
So they're still beefing?
Yeah, he almost hit him with a concerto. So yeah, they're definitely still beefing. Alright, so as far as the MJF promo, this is one of my best of the week. It was hilarious. MJF said he didn't care that he hurt William Regal. Bryan Danielson's mentor. He said they love this guy. Oh, okay, yeah. He said the only thing nowadays that's keeping him from popping a fistful of pills and calling it a day is his title. He said, but everybody loves Danielson done. Danielson screaming yes from the top of their lungs. He said, I envy you. You got a beautiful wife, a beautiful family. Well, Daddy's about to take this punch to the face. Talking directly to the camera about one of his kids. He said, I'm about to bring on early onset CTE. Before he got the E out, Danielson jumped him in the ring. That was funny. I'm trying to remember the part he was saying. He said, he's had concussions and seizures in the ring, but he still wrestles. He's going to do it again to him, basically, what he was trying to say. He said even worse, your addict is a drug addict. Your mentor is a drug addict, basically. The part about the girl wasn't in this review that I'm reading back here, but it was hilarious. It wasn't as good as the one I said that was borderline Katie Vick from about a week or two ago. But
I already knew what interview he was talking about. Like, yeah, he was like, oh yeah, I put her in the passenger seat of the car and I got stuck up out of it.
It was up there. He said something else super fucking audacious this week. I just can't remember exactly what it was off the top of my head. I apologize. Anyway, moving on from there. Your next match that came up was a tag team battle royal. I don't have a total list of eliminations, but I'll give you the list of everybody that was in it and then tell you the final results. So, Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal, Top Flight, best friends. Lucha Brothers, La Faction Gobernables. If you don't know what that is, that's Rouge and Preston Vance. El Perro, which means the dog. Aussie.
Known as 10.
Formerly known as 10, that's right, FKA. Aussie Open, who was in it, who I thought would be a winner of it, considering that's a special attraction, but they weren't, but then it was revealed why they are here this week, so they just threw them into that also. Alright, we'll get to why they are later in reviews. Ari Daivari, Tony Nese, Jericho Appreciation.
Now they went with the 205 tag team?
Yep. I forgot they were up for 205. Good call. Jericho Appreciation Society, The Butcher and the Blade, and the Dark Order. Jericho Appreciation Society did not even come into the match until they were down to the last 3. Smartly, they just stayed on the outside the whole time, taking advantage of the situation.
Smart.
Yeah, it was smart. I can't hate on it. I'm just saying, like, yeah, that's what they did. Anyway, so when we got down to your finals, like I said, they came in, and even though they came in, they ended up getting tossed real quick from there. Your final, the Butcher stayed in by himself till about the end. So did one of Top Flight. Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal, who ended up being your match winners, were in it at the end also. And also Trent of Best Friends. Trent was the final elimination. He almost made it back in there, but He's fighting 2-on-1, even though he's had the rest of best friends on the outside. And he also had Satnam Singh on the outside. So like when he thought that he had Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett Slapnuts eliminated, not Sanjay Dutt, but Satnam Singh's big ass, 7-foot ass is holding them up in the air like this so they can't fall to the floor. So he had to basically 3-on-1 with that advantage part of it also. So eventually Trent got eliminated. So that's how Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal are in that 4-way match for the tag titles now at Revolution. Next up, House of Black cut a promo. They want those trios titles. And they said there's been a disease and a sickness going on in this company for a while. And now it's our time. They say now is our time for us to expose it. So basically they feel like that disease is the elite and they're calling them out. So that should be good. Tony Khan didn't make the big announcement that they announced he was going to make it. He passed it off to Adam Cole, who made the announcement. And like I said, next week's Dynamite. Oh, sorry. Next month, Dynamite next month is that new show. On that same Dynamite, the Dynamite, I believe, is the same weekend I go to Vegas. So I want to say it is March 21st or March 28th, one or the other. I'm going to say the 21st. That's when he's going to make his in-ring return. It's not next week. I apologize. So it's basically 3 weeks from now. That's going to make an in-ring return the same night they had the AEW All Access as their new show. Moving on from there, you have your main event, which is where our ugly comes in. So I'd say my good is, you'll get it.
Okay.
My good is...
That's weird. Them two words together, main event.
It's actually not. It's actually... You'll understand why I say it in a second. Okay. All right. So, my good was MGF promo. That was my best because, he be wilding. There wasn't a bad... I would say the tag, but it wasn't bad. Here's the only thing about it I felt like, and it was almost a tie this week. I'd say between that and Saraya taking on, I don't know if I mentioned that, but Saraya defeated Sky Blue. That was all just a setup squash match. Your face is exactly why I say that was my bad. It wasn't bad enough to be ugly, but it's just bad. It was just a setup match, just to set up the next feud. Because at the end, it was more about the end when Jamie Hayter ran down to the ring, and so did Ruby Soho, but she wasn't down there to save anybody. She was just calling out, trying to call out Jamie Hayter because she wants the title. So that's how she got into that being a 3-way. Well, Jamie Hayter announced that as a 3-way coming up. These are all the things that happened. You know what I'm saying? So like, it was just a fait to complete. It was just a means to an end. You know what I'm saying? Like
Blue goes with a current AEW wrestler or something.
Big Shotty.
I wonder how he feel every time.
I haven't seen him in a while. I wonder if he blew his knee out or something.
Yeah, she keep
or is he just on Dark or something? Hey, she getting more ring time than he is on TV.
You probably said because he's probably hurt.
That's my guess. I don't know. He could be on Dark for all I know. I don't watch Dark all the time. We watch a lot of wrestling in the week. Some stuff got to get trimmed. If you want me to watch Dark, I guess she switched up because she was with Big Shotty. No, I'm sorry. Big Shotty's with the girl that's in House of Black.
Oh, that's my girl, Julie Hart.
Yeah, he's with her. My bad. Yeah, she is with Dr. Martin. Yep. That is true. Remember they had a mixed tag. Remember they had a mixed tag match against Jericho and Ty. Not Jericho and Ty, but against Sammy and Ty.
They lost. If the Sky Blue attached to it, they're losing. Sorry.
I mean, he don't win that much either, unless and if it's second tier talent. If it's top tier talent, he puts up a good fight, but then they have him lose. But say he's upcoming future talent.
It's Big Swallow, Cedric Alexander, except the roles are reversed. He's the one that's always losing, and she's the one that was winning.
He does win some matches. I can't say he loses all the time. I'm just saying. But when he get that higher spotlight match, those are the ones that look good but lose. Like when they had that trios match against the Bucks. When they had that trios match against the Bucks and AR Fox. Yeah. When AR Fox did it and Kenny and all that stuff. Anyway, so as I was saying, the bad was the tag, and the reason why I say the bad was the tag was the fact that it's like the Rumble. Everybody has their moments in the middle of the ring while everybody else is hanging around the outside of the ring in like rest holds and stuff. So you gotta kind of deal with that. But the action they were given in the middle of the ring was good, but then it's also like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like the Rumble. They said like the Rumble, like where everybody rolls off the fucking ring because they need to like.
That happened a lot in this too. That happened a whole lot in that. Everybody go to the second ropes to beat the guy down and throw him back into the ring. Like Slapnuts kept doing that and hitting people with chairs and throwing him back in the ring. That's how he ended up surviving getting eliminated a million times. Anyway, so that's why that's my bad. Because you can't get around it, but it still doesn't look necessarily good or whatever. Now we're at our ugly, which is the main event. Our ugly this week was surprising because remember I just said AEW MVP. Jon Moxley versus Evil Uno. So this match went 6
That's the main event?
6 minutes. Yep. See, your face is why I'm saying this. This should have opened the show. They could have flip-flopped this with the Orange Cassidy Wheeler Yuta match, and that would have been a great main event, and it was a title on the line, so it would have precipitated it. Because there's a belt. It makes sense. But no, they didn't do that. They went with Moxley, which isn't bad. You the other side to go, Moxley is great. Here's why I say it was bad. So Evil Uno came out hot. He came out hot. But he ain't come out acting like it. He came out straight kicking him in the face. He was pissed off because he felt like Moxley was trying to play him. The whole time last week when he was in his face calling him out like, Moxley, I want you. Put his hands in his face. He pie-faced him. All this. Moxley was looking through him at Hangman like, you aren't shit. Whatever to your challenge. I'm looking at him. And he called him out. And then they announced the match after that on last week's Rampage where Evil Uno said, I'm calling you out next week since you want to kind of play me like I'm not evil, like I can't be as tough as you. Alright, so he was going hard for a while. Then, after about 2.5 minutes in the match, Moxley went Moxley on his ass.
2.5 minutes.
Yeah, I'd say about that. He went Moxley on his ass. Started tearing at the mask. Now, this was the best part of it, though. Underneath that mask, and I think that's what made it the best visual, did not belie exactly how much this man was split under there, because he was yeeking. At the end of the match, and that's why I say it's the ugly, because all that damn blood. And it got worse, because during the match, Moxley didn't even get split open, surprisingly. It was at the end of the match after Hangman comes out, and then he gets mega split. And I mean mega split. So first, let's start with Evil Uno before we get into boxes. So first, Evil Uno, Moxley tears the mask, but it's tear completely open, so you can't see his face. But he tears it enough where his eye holes are like now bigger, and the blood, like he gets in the headlock, and the blood is literally like a faucet. I don't mean drop, I mean like straight. Leak like you turn the faucet on. He was every time he heard Brian Harder on like the Bulldog show, he was just squeezing it out of his head like a tomato. It was just crazy. It was the ugliness of all of that. So obviously Moxley went to match because he wanted to pass us out in the damn ring. But he put up a good fight at first. It wasn't like a quick one, and he didn't tap. He passed out. Dark Order comes out because Moxley wouldn't let go of it to jump him after the match. So Silver and Reynolds that came out, they got him off. So of course, Wheeler and Cardio Castanodi come out and start beating them down. Hangman wheels it straight down there and starts beating the shit out of him. 2 seconds later, guess who else is busted open too? And his was so bad. It was funny because the last shot of the show, they're showing him, he can barely talk because he has so much blood pouring into his fucking mouth. And he can't see, his one eye closed. He's all like this, like, I got you on the 5th. I got your head like that. His face. It sounds like that was the ugly. That's why I feel people when they be like it's too much blood. Like, bro, you can't do this every week anymore, bro. It's too much. He gets to the point you can do this, and he will bleed. That's as much of a touch as he needs.
It'll be like Devon Dudley.
This is gonna be scarred. It's crazy. So that's the Dynamite review for this week, so we can get into SmackDown and finish the show. But it had to belie. I know you found that a little strange that I say that was the ugly, but that's why. It's because of the blood and just the visual of it. Like, ugh. Usually I'm all for like, yeah, but that's like, ugh. Plus, I like Evil Uno. He's not a main eventer. I'll say that. I'm not gonna body shame the man as the reason why he shouldn't be in that match. I don't feel like that. Because you could have said that about Walker before he came into the main roster, and you could never say he had a bad match. So
It showed though, because he will get tired like
yeah, he get winded, you could tell it, yeah. But that was my AEW Dynamite review. We'll get into Rampage in a little bit.
That was funny. Alright, let's start the SmackDown from the Ford Center in Evansville, Indiana. And a lot of crossover this week. Starts off with highlights from Elimination Chamber and the whole thing with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Jimmy is here. He said he hasn't been again in touch with Jay. Which means Jay came back. They defended the titles last week. He ain't heard from his brother since then. Okay. And he said if he got something you want to get off his chest, meet him in the middle of the ring. You can get off his chest then.
Well, brother versus brother?
No, I'm just saying like basically like you got a problem with the whole thing. Like put your shit like out here.
Gotcha.
Like stop like we're tag team champions, bro. Stop like leaving me out the loop because you know. Next we get a match between Madcap, Moss, Ricochet, and Braun Strowman versus Imperial. This match, the winner of this match is Imperium. They get the win over on Madcap Moss here. After the power bomb. What I liked was the fact that that McIntyre comes out. So you get a tease of McIntyre versus Gunter probably, but that shit don't work because McIntyre gets attacked by the Viking Raiders. They just him from behind. Then Sheamus comes out to help Strowman. Sheamus comes out for the save along with Strowman and Ricochet. So that leads to that. We don't know where Imperial went during this whole chaos thing. Like they was just like not in the ring no more. Next. Rey Mysterio getting ready to face Karrion Kross. Santo Escobar is officially babyface.
Along with the rest of his crew?
Don't know about the rest of his crew. He just been kind of like single lately. But
did they bring up the lady that was down there with him in NXT also, or is it just
no? Leche Lopez is still in NXT. They replaced her with Selena Vega.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm sorry. My bad. We hadn't been on air in a while. I do remember that happened. And then I guess in my own brain I shit on her when you said her rating was 72, so then I forgot 74? That she was even with them. Oh, I didn't even shit on her even worse. See, I thought our truth was a 72. Damn, I made her the worst in the game. My bad. My bad, Selena. Please, how your husband keep my head up.
By the way, I forgot Rumble. Her outfit was amazing. She
did some cosplay character. I remember
something out of Street Fighter because she's like one of the announcers on the game.
Right.
Game. I forgot who the character was, but it was awesome.
It's one of the new characters on the game. I know what you're talking about. But yeah, my bad. I forgot about her being there. But the rest of them are not turning.
No, I don't think. I think he came up. He came up by himself. I think. No, he came. I think he came up with them. We just haven't seen him on TV though. He came to more of the solo run. Like he had the killer match against Ricochet in the finals of that World Cup. Like that was a hell of a match between them two. But he's basically babyface, and they showed it, and like they were doing like digital thing backstage. He walked up in the locker room where Rey Mysterio was at and told him how much he respect what he did for Mexican wrestling and Lucha Libre. Gave him a mask. Ray gave him a mask back. And they know that's how they show their respect and everything like that. So they're basically he faced. They talk about mutual respect. Dominic and Rhea Ripley interrupt. Escobar said, "I don't like your tone," and then that sets up a match for them tonight. We get back to Jimmy Uso, who said he thinks Jay's shaking up after Montreal, and then Paul Heyman suggests that Jimmy needs to deal with Jay, Sully to stay in the back, so this let the two brothers handle this issue out. Here come your boy, LA Knight.
Uh-oh.
He had to run back with that.
I had to get in on this with my homie Puma Asics.
He said that time of year.
Background real quick. For the reason we call him Puma Asics is because his name is so generic creator. Like you just, hey, I need a new wrestling name, and you just type something into the damn creator, and it popped out LA Knight. Which reminded me of British. I'm like, how do you be two shitty pair of shoes? British Knights and motherfucking LA Gears. So you basically got the BKs and them bitches got glowing lights. Like you're just showcasing your corniness there. So that's how he got the name Puma Asics. Two relatively shitty pair of shoes combined.
That's his name, unfortunately. He said he's going to give WrestleMania an LA Knight moment. New Day comes out here. Kobe said you've been around for like 2.5 months, so you're not getting nothing. He called them nerds. Will said I may be a nerd, but this nerd makes a lot of money. Because this man do make a lot of money. This man hosting every damn thing. He also shown on, what's the game and show? G4 or?
No, that channel.
Oh, Gaming 4.
But that channel's about to get eliminated soon.
Yeah, probably.
canceled. I don't know why though. G4 is a good channel, but I get just get up here.
Yeah, and then
Honestly though, if you put G4 on streaming like Crunchyroll does for
I
like
think it'd be
anime
better.
stuff, I think it would too. Because then people enjoy it and ingest it when they want to, as opposed to trying to get it watched 24/7 like networks would
I
want.
just remember G4.
You watch it when you want.
Game reviews, and they used to have American Ninja Warrior.
Exactly. You go in and watch
You
it when
can
you
go
want.
to the game.
How to do it like IGN is?
Yeah, I know.
Make G4 like IGN.
Yeah. Okay, I'll go out. Yeah. So this leads to a match. Kobe said he worked 11 years to get his WrestleMania moment, get a rep out here. This leads to a match between them. Kobe was in trouble in Paradise after Wood blows the trombone, which is a distraction for LA Knight. So that's the end of that match.
Yeah. I keep losing matches on the main roster to improve my profile. Yeah.
Was the profile really improved after that sponsor match he was in at Royal Rumble?
No, it might have gone down. I forgot that. Yeah, it probably has gone down.
I'm just saying that match was a sponsor for Mountain Dew Fish Black. By the way, it would look disgusting, but for some weird reason, Cody loved it. It really doing a present. I haven't had sugar in like 9 months. This is good, but he took like the smallest swig of it. I'm like, you lying? You don't like it? You just saying that to say, but it's okay though. It's okay. Next we get Charlotte Flair is here. She said she don't like Rhea Ripley, and the last time in the ring she beat her. Out comes Dominic Mysterio, who says she did over her head. No, and he basically pumped her up like, yeah, no woman won the Royal Rumble from #1, but she did. She's a strong woman, and we made sweet. And this part, Charlotte was like, I have a real Latino man who called me mine with a much thicker ass. I'm like, ouch.
Hey, but what if this makes them bring back? What if all of a sudden, after do the WrestleMania thing, and then how they love continue and everything, the Raw after Mania we get, oh, eat him up, and he come out, and now we get a mixed tag. I don't really like how they do mixed tags, but I'd be down for that because that's my nigga.
He said he knows what it's like being compared to their fathers and better than them. So you're basically just. And the fans said they don't like it, but Charlotte found out that she ain't getting WrestleMania. Charlotte says she loves her dad, who shot out Ric Flair, turned 74 Saturday. And said he could beat up Dominic if he was there.
Woo! Happy birthday to you.
And then Charlotte gets in his face, like she about to put hands to him. Out comes Rhea Ripley. They about to get to a physical altercation, but Dominic gets her out of there. Next we get Natalya versus Shayna Baszler. Natalya was clear earlier today. Tegan Nox offered to have her back against Shayna Baszler. Rousey is there too. Shayna Baszler wins with an arm bar and makes her tap in like less than 3 minutes. They do a beat down. Rousey and Baszler beat her down, but then Tegan Nox makes a save, so they set up a match for them next week. Then we get to the weird. Firefly Funhouse. Bray is in a home studio watching himself challenge the winner of the Lashley Lesnar match. He said he don't seem scared, Lashley don't. Then we go to Funhouse News, which I guess is new, with Bray Wyatt and Ramblin' Rabbit. Ramblin' Rabbit's back. He did not kill Ramblin' Rabbit this time. He survived this episode. He always good for a death to every other Firefly Funhouse. He said time for the winner. Then we get Uncle Howdy. Then he has a Can You Keep a Secret? It's just him in a bad wig. And then Bray asks about a secret. And then he starts rambling. Jimmy is worried about confronting Jay, but Paul Heyman said Roman Reigns will be here next week. He said if Jimmy handled Jay tonight, Bray will personally handle Jay next week. If you don't. Next we get Rey Mysterio versus Karrion Kross. Ray, good back and forth match. Ray goes to hit the 619. Dominic pops in, breaks it up. Kross hits the cross hammer, cross jacket for the win. He basically tries to get Ray to punch him, hit him in the face after the match. Ray doesn't do it, but I think it's setting up to a father versus son at that Mania.
Yeah, I mean, it's been setting for that for a while, but he hasn't done enough to push him over the edge. I just wish he would have went more Eddie Guerrero with it. Because he already has the hair. You might as well go full-on Eddie with it, bro.
But all the little stuff, like, he kept, they ended up their Valentine's Day dinner they had.
Like they do like these little like digital things, like Maximum Male Models got their own little segment, like little 8-minute show on WWE.
I don't like how they've made them background fodder. I almost liked it better when Puma Asics were there.
It was so funny though.
It was, but now they made them background fodder, and I don't know why, because it was corny, but funny corny. They don't know when to go with certain stuff, and the other stuff they shouldn't go with, they continue to go with. I don't understand that. Because now, like, did you see that, well, I don't know if you know, but I didn't mention this. During that Chad Gable-Bronson Reed match, she was the distraction that caused Otis not to be able to help Chad Gable and why Chad Gable lost. Because she was out there talking to him, trying to give him a card while she was recruiting him, which is the same shit she did like a week before to Chad Gable. You know what I'm saying? Playing them against each other or whatever. But then by the end of the match, he turns around after the card's over, ding, 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 it's over. You know what I'm saying? I don't like how they become so much background fodder. I wish they used it better.
I like that whole little thing they have, like they little like.
I mean, I feel like Puma Asics should be separate on his own. He doesn't need them, but it was funnier when he was there, though.
They got the little segment they have. It's so funny. Like, they got like a reality TV show. It was funny because the last episode had Shayna Baszler on there, and she looked at Solo like, "What am I even doing here? Like, don't put me in this." But yeah, though. So that was funny. Okay, so now Jimmy's out here, and he said he know that Jay is hurt, and then when Jay hurt, he hurt too. But that's his brother. I'm always gonna have love. Like, Sammy is in the crowd, and he said he keep hearing you talk about your brother and that what Jimmy is to you, but Jimmy was the only one that saw value in him, and that he was the one that made him an honorary ooze. Then he said Jimmy took Zane down without a second thought. Then he blamed Zane for making the choice of pulling the trigger when he hit Ray from the chair. He said, "What's he supposed to do?" Zane said, "Family don't touch the loyalty area. We can manipulate you like Brain has done to him and Jay." Now Jay is in the crowd. And Zane said, there's a way out for Jimmy. He said he don't have to go down with the ship. Lead the bloodline before everything hits, lead the bloodline before everything goes downhill. Jimmy gets distracted by Jay. Zane hits a haluva kick. They start having a brawl. Jay makes his way to the barricade. Then out comes Zane. Veils and Solo comes out. Zane look at Jay, runs into the crowd to end the show. Jay never said or did anything for staring. So Reigns is back next week, and then we'll see what happens then. So Jay is still on the fence, unsure what to do, but we'll see because Sammy and Jimmy went to blows. We'll see what happens next Friday, and that is SmackDown.
Alright, in our last review of the week, I'm going to do the good, bad, and ugly thing again here and apply it to AEW. This Rampage, baby. Alright, so your good started off in the beginning immediate of this show. First match, Young Bucks taking on Aussie Open. Told you it was another reason why they were around, other than getting one of the first and second teams eliminated from that tag team battle royal, which surprised the crap out of me. I'm like, then why the fuck did you have them in it? But this is why. So they had a match with the Bucks. They came out hitting hard. Bucks pulled a victory out, though, at the end of the day with the BTE trigger to Fletcher of Aussie Open. Aussie Open's a great tag team. Love to see them come back and face other teams in AEW in the future. Wouldn't be surprised if they sign with AEW at some point in time in the future. Moving on from there, at the end of that match, they were surrounded. The ring went black, came back up, and they were surrounded by the House of Black around the ring. We'll see where that goes soon. Next up, my bad. Tony Storm defeating Willow Nightingale with the Storm Zero. This is my bad because I know they're
doing with her.
Well, here's the thing: they're trying to.
That was Willow Nightingale. That's what I'm talking about.
That's part of my bad. I feel like they built her up at one point. She had she had a ROH Women's Title match. She had lost, and then from there from there she's like wavered. Yeah. And what I mean by wavered is like some weeks she wins, some weeks she loses. Some weeks it's a squash match on like Dark that she wins, but then you get her on Dynamite. You're basically just there to take the pin in the match or something like that, and she's better than that. And I feel like they should book her a little better than they do, you know what I'm saying? But I do like that the entire women's division has one outside of Jade Cargill. Though, I got a feeling they could drag her into this too. The entire division has an entire purpose of a storyline where they're taking the AEW original women against those they've signed recently or in the last year or so, and they're trying to beat their own faction and break off from the original women. That's why Saraya and Toni Storm are teaming up and trying to get other women to join them, and then Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter are leading the side for the AEW originals, even though Jamie Hayter is an AEW original, but they push that narrative, so whatever. Anyway, and I do remember correctly, she didn't come in until like almost a year or two into the company's existence, but I digress. So that's the opposition for the other side. But the reason I said this was a bad match for me because they really were only pushing that narrative. I felt like you could have put somebody else that you use on Dark that you use to lose matches. It's Rampage. It's not Dynamite. Yeah. So I don't feel like you need to put Willow in this spot to be the one to take this L. Because they even really approached her into this whole scenario of AEW originals versus the newcomers, women. You know what I'm saying? They hadn't brought her into that. So I was like, why she even need to be involved in this at all? In that manner, especially just to take the L to me. That's how I felt. I felt like she put up a decent fight, but for what it was worth, it was like, at the end of the day, like, she didn't really need to be there. After the match, of course, all sides from each side comes out. You know, Soho, Jamie Hayter, Britt Baker, they all came out because Saraya was interfering the whole match, which is the whole reason why Willow Nightingale lost the match even to begin with. So, moving on from there, my boy is back with my boy, though I wish we'd have got a good promo out of either one of them. This well, the main one, you know what I'm talking about once I state this. But everybody dies! Lance Archer is back. Along with my boy Jake the Snake Roberts, of course. Oh man, that's still one of the funniest things ever. That shit was so funny. Anyway,
They hurt his feelings when they did that time.
it was so funny. Oh man, the way I've never heard that sounded so funny in my life. He had a squash match, defeated a guy named Bryce Saturn with a clothesline. He didn't even use the razor edge move. To get the finish on that when he beat the crap out of that guy so bad. And we have our ugly of the week. Sammy Guevara versus Action Andretti. Guevara wins this match with a go to sleep. I'm going to skip straight to that because the whole time we had interference from Danny Garcia on the outside. No, that was just mainly Danny Garcia. That was it. But the reason why I call this my ugly is for the same reasons along the lines I was just talking about Willow Nightingale. You brought this kid into this company, and he had a gangbusters. His debut match. He ain't did shit since. Nothing. Why would you even tie him into the thing with Ricky Starks, other than the fact that they both faced Jericho? Like, what's the point? I didn't like the feud between Jericho and Starks, to be honest with you. I feel like this is just to keep Starks relevant, and this isn't shitting on Jericho, but there ain't no purpose to this shit. For real. Ain't none at the end of the day. Ain't no belts on the line. I don't feel like Stark's even going to gain that much more prestige, considering that before this feud, he had a title match with MJF. So, ain't that kind of working backwards? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you say the title picture, that'd be one thing. You got to take a step back, drop it down to the feud with Jericho. But I digress. This isn't me, once again, shitting on Jericho when I say this. I just feel like, why shoot him out the gate like a cannon, like a cannonball, and then just hit the wall like 2 feet later. You know what I'm saying? He looks great as amongst the high flyers when he does his stuff, but he's not doing anything to stand out from the crowd. I can see the same shit out of Dante Martin to get more enthusiasm. And, I'm not knocking Andretti when I say this, because honestly, this isn't about him. It's just that he doesn't do that much for me to stand out from the crowd. If you bring him in like that, I'd say you might as well keep him hot and keep him, getting some good wins against some dame talent out there. I wouldn't necessarily start him out with feuds. With the JS, yes, but not against Guevara, because if you put down paper, of course I'm going to pick Guevara or pick Danny Garcia to beat this kid. We haven't seen enough out of him. But if you put him against like a Money Matt, or or a Hager, I did, okay, that'll work. Slow build him like they did with Hook. But they didn't do that, and I feel like now he's basically AEW dark material that just seems to be running around the main roster to take pins. And I'm sorry to shit on it. This isn't me shitting on dark. Well, we know what dark is. Dark is AEW versus the main event, bro. Once again, do I ever ask you to cover main event?
I never will cover.
And I will never cover dark. And you know I love AEW.
I love Dark though. At least on Dark you get some of the stars on Dark. I can go.
They do that. They do give you a lot of that.
Dark, and I can see.
Remember main event used to do that. You used to get every now and then Hulk Hogan squash match on that bitch. They don't do that shit. Main event back in the 90s. They don't do that now. The biggest star you get on main event nowadays is fucking Natalia, bro.
Not even her no more.
Damn.
Probably got those from probably around. Last big star I want to say I've seen on the Dark was Rey Mysterio.
On the main event?
Main event, yeah.
I remember they used to have, Ricochet got them, by the way, that's the end of the Rampage review. Remember Ricochet got demoted down to main event for a little while there?
Oh, yeah. He's like main event.
The main event.
Always Ricochet.
The main event of main event.
Yeah, it was him and Ali all the time.
So yeah, I just don't like that in my wrestling. If you start a guy out one way, he ain't gotta win all the time. I just feel like he should win once and then repeatedly lose. It's like,
Especially if you defeated Chris Jericho.
once again, that's not shitting on Jericho, but at this point of his career, that's that's your step up to the next. That's your step up to the next level feud, not in reverse.
But I will say this because this also breaks it. I feel like this is something.
And I feel like Starks is doing that in reverse. You went from a title match down to this. You should have went to this to that title match.
And this was the one thing Matt Hardy he did. He was on his podcast. This was the one criticism that he did have of Tony Khan, and he said he felt like Tony Khan needed to invest more in characters, you know,
and more storytelling.
Instead of focusing on all the in-ring action. And he said them fans. He said like he kind of like look like WWE. They don't have. I don't think their quality of matches are better than ours. But he said, but their storytelling characters are way better than ours. You can get attached to like a job. Someone like who's the guy who lost like every goddamn match? He lost like 100 matches in a row.
No, not James Ellsworth.
Kurt Hawkins.
No, Kurt Hawkins.
But you got attached to Kurt Hawkins because it felt like, damn, he's going to win one.
Yeah.
Win one.
Yeah.
You know, so he
but yeah, though.
like,
but wait, hold on.
Focus more on, he said, I'm using him as an example. He did. I am.
Yeah, I feel you there. Kurt Hawkins was lovable, though. He lost all the time. You love seeing him lose, but not like to the point where you're rooting against him. You got to root for him every match, but he's like, oh, they do that one thing and he lose, you know what I'm saying? But you still turn back every week to see it again. Like, maybe you'll get it done this time.
About the storytelling. He said Tony had to focus more on character building and storytelling instead of focusing on the in-ring acting, which I agree. Like everything that you just said about
at first,
ready,
you named him. You named him, but at first I was gonna say Heath Slater. I was like, but at least he did have that one segment with Brock Lesnar, though.
Yeah. He did.
You got kids, man. You got kids. Come here, man. Let me holler at you, man. Listen, I don't give a fuck about your kids.
You need to give him like 8 suplexes in the F5.
It was the best. I love it.
But like you said, but everything that you said though, like with Willow Nightingale after it makes sense. But the storytelling you need to like build more to the storytelling, more to the characters, get people actually more invested. That would make the product.
That's the thing about it for me. They're good wrestlers.
Yeah,
I'm not. They're not their shit. It's like they should be on Dynamite or something like that. I'm just saying, use them with a little more purpose than they come up to take the L.
Their character and their storytelling.
There's other wrestlers that are at that level that you can build to take the L. I feel like they're beyond that.
Yeah. So that's what Matt Hardy was basically saying. He's saying like, just focus on, like, build more of the storytelling and the character building to your wrestling. That way you get the fans more attached to that guy. Fans like say like, well, if you were to put a good character build behind Willow Nightingale, even though she was the name, like she almost took Jade Cargill to the limit. She may lose on a Dynamite, or she'll get put to a dark.
But then she has.
But she has a story character behind her, though. The fans can get behind her, so it won't be as bad. So, like, say she do lose, she has something behind her in terms of like a character or storytelling. That way, you won't be ranting about how they use it, like how they bring you'll rant about how they just bring her up and then she like being inconsistent and being misused. Like, if you put a story behind that, it'll work better.
Did you see the Rampage match she had when she tagged with Ruby Soho? This is a Rampage main event. This was in January where they took on.
Was this the one with
Jay?
Too though. I kind of think I feel like they punishing her because
Ty Solo
they punishing her because Anna Jay took that bad table spot in that match when she like.
It must have been in that match. It must have been in that match.
She took the power bomb off on the side of the stage. I kind of
Yeah, that was that match because they came out like they were the Dudley Boys, and Soho even was like, "Willow, get the tables," and then she powerbombed them off the side of the cage today. That was that match. That was exactly what I was bringing up.
But that was a bad spot because I think she might be getting punished for that because Anna Jay head smacked hard. You thought she could have been like a cuff.
My thing is that
I'm not
you
saying
use her in
that's
spots like that, and she looks so wonderful. So like, do that more. Don't make her have to come out and take that L.
So I don't know. That's just me just probably throwing out probably a reason probably like because that was a bad that was one of those spots everybody pointed out. They're like they're like Anna Jay, she didn't clear that table. Her head hit straight like I don't want to say it was cement, but like straight floor, and it looked it bad.
No, I remember.
Bad.
Willow
Like,
took
ooh.
running that shit through that table. Her ass went through that table. More of her went to that table than Anna Jay did.
Yeah, that's bad. That's like, ooh, like that looked bad. Like, oh, her head should hit like that. Like, ooh. Like, so maybe that might be why probably I'm just throwing something out there, just throwing something against the wall. But I don't know, but yeah.
All good shows. I'm just
That already
giving.
said the best though. Tony Khan, listen to, you got these vets. Listen to that. That's one that's been around business for a while. Listen to what he telling you. Put some story.
Now, when I say these good, bad, and uglies, this is not an overall review of each show. I thought Dynamite was good this week. I thought Rampage was good enough this week. I ain't gonna say it was the greatest.
NXT to me this week, NXT was good. It could have been better. But the fact that I'm gonna say it was good because if you got me giving Schism any kind of praise, I mean that's a win right there for you.
But I just feel like
SmackDown was
we can't blow
SmackDown was
smoke.
SmackDown. I love the Sharp Girl promo. She
Yeah.
took down the school. Yeah, I got an actual Latino man. He actually said, I'm like, ouch.
But I just feel like you gotta throw some shade in there. Not everything can be perfect and blow smoke up everything's ass. As much as I love AEW, I gotta call it where I see it. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, we took it up at a time. We're getting the hell out of here since we were running past 2 hours. For one half of your hosts, I'm Rob.
Clint.
And this has been Hot Tag Wrestle Corner. Until next week with more news, reviews. Soon to be coming back also with the Mount Rushmore. Ryan, take us home.